Assalamu alaikum everyone. A very good morning and a warm welcome to all participants attending this event. I am Ikra Sadia, a postgraduate student of University of Malaya, and I would like to thank everyone for joining this event. So somewhere it's good morning and good evening. So good morning to you all and good evening to the people who they have good evening. So I would just highlight a little bit on the countries that are today in our summit today are Sri Lanka. There is 2.2 percentage. From Pakistan, we have participants for 47.6 percentage. From Bangladesh, China, and India, collectively around 24 percentage. Indonesia, Iraq, Malaysia, and Nigeria completely involved around 18 percentage. So I welcome you all and thank you so much for joining us today for our summit. Our event is IEEE Power and Energy Society Young Professional Region Summit Asia Pacific 2022. This event is organized by IEEE PES Young Professionals and in collaboration with IEEE PES Malaysia chapter and IEEE Young Professional Malaysia in conjunction with the celebration of IEEE Day 2022. We will be live broadcasted on Facebook and YouTube on our IEEE Young Professional Malaysia page. The link will be given on chat box so you can share with your friends and invite them to see what's the summit going on and they can get the information about our interesting topics and the lineup of the speakers that we have today. And once again, I thank you all and welcome you on this summit. So there are a few instructions for the participants. Please keep your microphone muted at all times and chat box will be available for communication as the host of the program will manage it. So you need to see when you can communicate. And there will be a photograph after each session. So please stand on your camera so you don't miss the chance to take the photograph with the speaker. So let's start the event officially. I would welcome my chair, IEEE PES Young Professional Region Summit Asia Pacific 2022, Dr. Harun Rashid. But before that, I would give you a brief introduction about Dr. Harun. Dr. Harun Rashid is an engineer, lecturer, trainer, researcher, and a motivational speaker originally from Pakistan and have been living in Malaysia for over a decade. He is a founder and director of Expertopedia Networks and Expertopedia Academy. He has completed his PhD in Electrical Electronics and System Engineering and MSc in Electronics Engineering, both from University of Malaysia and Bachelor's in Electrical and Electronic Engineering from University of Sunderland, United Kingdom. He is an active member and volunteer of several local and international professional organizations such as IEEE, IET, UK, and National Academy of Young Scientists, Pakistan. Since 2015, he has been serving as an IEEE volunteer at several positions. Currently, he is the chair of IEEE Young Professional Malaysia, IEEE Consultant Network Malaysia, IEEE Malaysia Section Blockchain Group, regional representation of Asia Pacific of IEEE PEC Young Professionals, and students and young professional activities chairs of IEEE PES Malaysia chapter. And he is the recipient of 2021 IEEE MGA Young Professional Achievement Award, which is an amazing achievement award, and it's not easy. So we are really proud of him. IEEE 2021 IEEE Malaysia Section Outstanding Professional Activities Award. He also won that. And in 2020 IEEE Malaysia Section Outstanding Volunteer Award for his enormous contribution in increasing number of engagements and enhancing the collaboration and cooperation within IEEE and with external organizations. So please give your clap your hands with the smiley of the claps to welcome my opening remarks from our founder and director from Expertopedia and chair IEEE PES Young Professional Region Summit Asia Pacific, Dr. Harun Rashid.
Thank you very much, Ms. Ikra, for the wonderful and very long biography of myself. So, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, Assalamu alaikum, good afternoon from Malaysia, somewhere good morning, somewhere good evening, and somewhere very early morning. Probably our chair of IEEE PES Young Professionals, Simi, probably she's joining, I think, very early morning. So thank you very much. On behalf of IEEE Power Energy Society Young Professionals, I would like to welcome all the participants to our very first IEEE PES Young Professional Regional Summit in Asia Pacific, which was given to me as a task by my chair, Simi Akar. You will be hearing her after this. to conduct this regional summit in Asia Pacific. So as Power Energy Society Young Professionals, we plan to come up with this summit, which we try to help from students and young professionals perspective, where we want to target what are their needs. So first of all, I would like to welcome all of you. And afterward, I would like to mention that our this summit is in conjunction with IEEE Day 2022. That is celebrated every year in the month of October, and many events are organized. And why IEEE Day is celebrated? This is the month, or this is the time when in 1884 the history recalls that the engineers from all around the world, they sit down together and then they started IEEE. So it's a proud moment for you guys as well, that you are in one of the events of IEEE Day 2022. So now coming to the business, that first IEEE Power Energy Society Young Professionals Regional Summit in Asia Pacific 2022. So in this event, we have designed this for a half day, for almost 3 to 4 hours that we will be taking from you. So in that 3.5 hours, what you are going to hear from us and what we have prepared for you, for that it is important that you must know what is the program of the whole event. You must have received it in the Google Drive link. But let me just give you an overview how we will be going through with this, and what exactly we have prepared for our audience. So surprisingly, we have received a very good response from around 500 registrants from all over Asia Pacific, plus some participants also registered with us from region 8 Africa, and there are some from Latin America as well. That is surprising to me, because it's like almost night over there, and then these people are still there to join this event. So after me, you will be hearing from Simi Akar, who will inaugurate this summit officially. She's the chair of IEEE PES Young Professionals. And after you will, together, we will inaugurate this summit. Then we will have opening remarks from the vice chair of IEEE PES Young Professionals. And then we are coming up with a technical talk for you. We have invited a researcher from industry, Dr. Farihan Binti Muhammad. She will be talking about smart grids and its implementations in Malaysia. So basically, the theme of our this summit is digitalization in power and energy. So keeping that in mind, we have picked up such topics that can benefit to our students and young professionals. So in adding to that, then we will have another second talk. After that, we will go for a little bit of break, and then we will tell you what exactly is IEEE PES Young Professionals. So if you want to know more about that, you have to stay with us. That is going to be after the first break. You will hear from the secretary of IEEE PES Young Professionals. Afterward, we have a second speaker who is coming from academia. So to give a proper balanced taste to our audience, we have invited a senior lecturer from a public university in Malaysia, IR Dr. Muhammad Effendi Yaqub. He will be talking about agrovoltaic natural cooling in large-scale solar PV farms. So you will hear about agriculture, agrovoltaic things and how they are doing, what are their implementations, they have done it. And then we have slightly different taste for you. We IEEE PES Young Professionals have something we started last year called Powering the Future Summit. So the second version of it is on the way. So you will hear from our vice chair of IEEE PES Young Professional, Aridon. She will be telling you about what is this Powering the Future Summit. And then we will go for a short break. Again, we will come back with totally different taste for you. That is going to be about entrepreneurship. So we have one speaker. She will be joining us all the way from Pakistan, Miss Hira Wajahat Malik. So she will be talking about entrepreneurship opportunities in power and energy. So then we have a little bit more nicer taste for you, which is something different that usually you don't find in the events, that is stand apart from professional societies. For that, we have invited the editor of IEEE Impact Creator, Ramnik Kalra. So he will be speaking to you, and then he will be having some fun activities as well within his session. So if you are interested for all these fun activities, and you want to learn all the technical knowledge as well as entrepreneurship information in power energy sector and what you can do other than just joining the industry. There are opportunities of being an entrepreneur, which the speaker after me, who is going to inaugurate this summit, Semi Akkar, she is one of the example of entrepreneur as well, a successful entrepreneur in the field of power and energy. Maybe in future we can arrange a session from her to share her journey as an entrepreneur. But here we have invited her because it's too early for her. We don't want to take long time from her as well. And I want to conclude my welcoming remarks by welcoming all of you. But in future, we will bring more and more interactive programs for you. So during this time, please pay attention. The talks are not lengthy, like 2-3 hours lecture. They are very short and precise talks. So all the talks are going to be in this 3 hours of time. So please sit back and forget about other things. Just focus and enjoy the event. With that, I give the session back to MC for you to hear from our next speaker for the inauguration of this summit. Thank you very much, Ms. Ikra, and back to you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Harun Rashid, and thank you so much for such a cheerful and a wonderful message for our all participants. I hope they are looking forward to the summit now more anxiously, like what is it and how the session are going to be. So let's go toward the inauguration of the summit, but by our chair. Let me just give a brief introduction for my participants. Simi Akkar is an entrepreneur with reputable corporate industrial background and her experience in the industry, energy industry. She is specialized in photovoltaic manufacturing, battery storage for electric vehicles, and renewable energy and technologies, and the clean energy market development. She is currently the Chief Commercial Officer and co-founder at Innosys, and her past role includes Sales and Marketing Director of Renewable Energy Marketing and Head of Overseas Industry at different solar industry platforms. Akkar has worked in China and Turkey, and most focused on international commercial activities, and has been employed by CSUN, Eurasia, and Schneider Electric, and Lucidia Solar. These are her tremendous professional activities. With this, I would also introduce her as IEEE senior member, acknowledged volunteer since 2007. She is a graduate of Middle East Technology University, Ankara, Turkey, and she participated in the Energy Innovation and Emerging Technologies program at Stanford University. From our side, welcome Simi Akkar, our chair, and I would give the floor to you to give a little bit of your words for the participants. Archer.
Thank you very much, Ikra, for the great introduction. And, just like I would like to start congratulating Dr. Harun and all the team behind and our collaborative partners, IEEE Young Professionals Malaysia, IEEE Malaysia section Young Professionals Group, and the chapter Malaysia section Partner Society chapter. So we have actually a big team behind all these initiatives. Just like working with Asia Pacific, just like a group, led by Dr. Harun, they're doing a fantastic job. And we have the chapter representatives in this region, and I'm seeing we have great diversity in the summit. That makes me really emotional because this was a dream. All team made it happen. As you refer, Harun, a given task. Well, actually, it was a dream we had together, and I just really dream hard. And all the team work harder behind to make it happen. So you're the one making it happen, actually, and the whole committee. So we have a committee structure as young professional group, young professional committee under Partner Society. So you all might be very familiar with Partner Society structure, but we have the chapters across the world, and they're all actually under one society's governing board structure. Young Professionals committees belong to one of the vice presidents under a governing board. So we are acting as like an operating team. But this team is so exciting and so motivated, enthusiastic for all the initiatives they made. And over years, because this is like a continuous support from the previous terms, but also in the last 2 years, as like our current team is like from 2021. So we dream about this Power in the Future Summit, these regional summits. They're like ignite fundings opportunities for our chapters. So if you're representing any of the chapters here, so we have support, financial, and just like speaker support. Well, whenever support and what kind of support you need is actually here. So like we are stronger together. So now our team is just like hearing you and trying to just like trying to make all those ideas happen together. So like these ideas were not really just like planned at the very beginning when we started our journey as a team. So like we discussed, we had brainstorm, and all the ideas one by one in a time frame, in realistic time frame, started to kick off. So then that makes me really emotional how the things are working very well. So like now we're seeing the future direction with this. You already heard the agenda of the summit. So like this is really exciting, and there are a lot of knowledgeable speakers are waiting us ahead. And just like we plan Power in the Future Summit, other initiatives, and the regional summits to empower young professionals who are member of Partner Society, who are interested in the energy field, because we need to make this energy industry better together. And we are part of this energy transition. So our role is crucial as young professionals because we have all these creative ideas. So we are actually deploying the innovation for the energy industry. So like we are actually making this energy transition more innovative and more just like efficient with all our energy. So we're empowering energy industry, and we're empowering our own future and career. So like we support each other all with these initiatives. We learn from each other. This is actually the proof that how the just like network and how being a family under Power Society works very well. So thank you for everyone making this happen and all the efforts behind. I don't want to keep you too long. Because like we are always here to support, learn from each other, and inspire each other. You're all inspirational, and you're part of the story. And thank you for making it happen.
Thank you so much, Sami Agar. Let's just turn our cameras on for a group photo. Let's just do it quickly. Host, just let me know when we are ready. So let's capture a memory.
Thank you very much, Simi, for coming all the way too early. Probably you are in traffic right now and you are in Sydney, right? So it's quite early.
No problem at all. Anytime.
We are very happy to have you here. We are very happy. Thank you very much for coming.
It's a pleasure here. Thank you for everything.
Thank you. So are we going for a photograph, Ikra?
Yes, I already announced, Dr. Arun. I already announced. Just let me know when it's done, the host.
Okay, hello everyone. On count 3, I will be capturing the photos. So be on camera. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Photo taken.
Okay, thank you so much, Alam. Thank you so much. So let's move towards our next opening remarks by our Vice Chair, IEEE PES Young Professional Jen Lee. Jen Lee has received his bachelor's degree in electrical engineering from Northeast Electrical Power University, China in 2011, and MSc degree in power and engineering in NTU, Singapore in 2013, and the PhD in engineering and electrical engineering from Cardiff University, Cardiff, UK in 2018. I welcome Mr. Jen Lee to join us to give our opening remarks for us.
Okay, thank you very much. I think first of all, let me give this big thank you to this team. Thanks, Dr. Harun, to organize such an excellent event for this IEEE PES Young Professionals. Someone should be muted.
Yes, please mute
So
all the
this
participants.
IEEE
I'm sorry.
PES Young Professional Regional Summit, Asia and Pacific for 2022. Through the previous videos, I can see that you have very excellent activities previously in the past years. And it recall me my memory when I was in Singapore for my master. I can remember.
Hello, can you hear me? I think so. We lost Jenly. So until he joins us back. Okay, let's proceed towards our next agenda until we get Jenly. So our next speaker will be Dr. Farihan Muhammad. She has received a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering from University Science Malaysia in 2017, and she's doing the PhD degree in the same field, focusing on power system studies from the University Science Malaysia. In 2021,
can I interrupt, please?
Yes, sir.
We should wait some time and play a small video to wait for him. May he comes in a short moment.
Yes, we can arrange later on also after the session. So he will be there with us.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. So let's towards our move towards our speaker. She has joined TBN Research Institute Research and Development Center for Tenaga National Berhad, an electric utility company in Malaysia. She is currently working as a researcher for Smart Grid Unit, and her research interests include probabilistic modeling of power system, grid integration of renewable energy sources, and advanced grid technologies. So Dr. Farihan Binte Muhammad, I welcome her on stage, and the floor is yours for next 30 minutes on the topic of Smart Grid and its implementation in Malaysia.
Sorry, Ikra, I think Janli is back. Janli is
okay.
Can we
yes, let's
Janli first?
Yes, Janli, please continue.
Sorry to Dr. Farihan.
Sorry for that. I think the internet is not working for a moment. So I will not talk too much and save the time for you. I think you enjoy today, and the floor is yours. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Janli. Dr. Farihan Binte Muhammad, the floor is yours for the Smart Grid and your topic of presentation.
All right, thank you, Ikra. So can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, okay, great. I'll just share my screen first. Okay, I hope everyone can see my slide. Okay, so Assalamualaikum and good day to all of you. First of all, I would like to thank IEEE PES Young Professionals for inviting me to speak here today. I am more than honored and privileged to join this prestigious event with all of you today. It is really an immense pleasure for me. So before start, allow me to briefly introduce myself. I am Farihan, a researcher for Smart Grid Unit in TNB Research Sdn Berhad, Malaysia. So today I'll be sharing our experience in implementing a Smart Grid demo project in the state of Malacca, Malaysia. So basically, the Smart Demo project in Malacca, we started back in 2020 and currently is an undergoing project which will end in June 2023. So, okay, let me proceed. Okay, I'll begin with a brief introduction of who we are, and then we'll go with a background of the Smart Grid Demo project. So basically, TNB Research is a research and development center, R&D, for our national electric utility, TNB National Berhad, Malaysia. We are here since the year 1993 and has been expanding, providing energy solution from generation, transmission to distribution network perspectives. As the world is transitioning towards sustainable energy, we are also accelerating towards the path towards advanced research, focusing on a low carbon innovation, GHG management. GHG stands for greenhouse gases management, smart grid technologies, and RE technology as well. So let's recap a bit on this energy transition. Okay, energy is the life force to economy. So clean energy stands for these global efforts to move towards greener economies and sustainable development. In the report of Open Working Group on Sustainable Development Goals, which is by the United Nations, it proposes a goal on access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy for all. All these efforts support a global move towards clean energy systems that promote low carbon economies, which will eventually translate into major economic opportunities and effective improvement in the environment. Okay. Within the broad context of sustainable development, climate change is an issue for which low carbon energies must play a key role. In the front of this audience, I don't have to emphasize the urgency of tackling climate change, but let me just recap on the past events. In 2020, CO2 emissions fell by a record of 1.9 billion tons, which is a 5.4% drop as countries locked down due to COVID pandemic. However, in 2021, the emission value rebounds back to 6% increase compared to pre-pandemic level in the year of 2019. It shows that how energy demand is increasing year by year. So how do we effectively curb this effect? The most obvious answer is through renewable energy. Based on a report from Amber, the energy think tank based from London, it was found that an increase in solar, wind, and hydroelectric power prevented a possible 4% rise in fossil fuel generation, which results in 230 million tons of CO2 emission avoidance. That is the equivalent of taking more than 49 million petrol-powered cars off the road for a year. But is renewable energy enough to save this planet? The answer is no. The energy needs to be smart as well. So this is how smart grid came about. The energy infrastructure is the single most important feature in any city. If unavailable for a significant enough period of time, all of functions will eventually cease. Hospitals, transportations, telecommunication, you name it, everything will cease. Therefore, smart grid became a backbone element for the smart city. A smart grid alone does three things. First, it modernizes power system through control and automation, remote monitoring, and self-healing design. Secondly, it informs consumers about their energy usage, costs, and alternative options to enable them to manage their loads. Thirdly, it provides safe, secure, reliable integration of distributed and renewable energy resources. All these add up to an energy infrastructure that is more reliable, more sustainable, and more resilient. The revolution that took the telecommunication industry from electromechanical to digital technology will be mirrored by merging communication technologies with power technologies and many new control opportunities that will come forward. Above all, the most critical element of the smart grid is that it empowers consumers by giving them real-time information and control. Consumers will automatically manage through their computer portal their electric power usage according to their personal consumption preferences. This opens the door for energy efficiency benefits that will aid customers to achieve optimal energy usage. Now, I will brief about our smart grid demonstration project in the state of Malacca. Smart Grid Demo project in Malacca is a part of the Sustainable City Development in Malaysia of Jeff Seed's program, which overall it covers policies, capacity building, awareness, and demonstration project. The demonstration project is done by TNBR, which has been selected by Malaysia industry government for high technology to deliver this demo project. So the demo project will facilitate the integration of renewable energy and energy efficiency of various key elements of the electrical grid from distribution system to the customer premises. The main key deliverable for this smart grid demonstration project is the development of virtual energy management application for continuous tracking of different GHG reduction inventories for Malacca. This includes residential components, building components, large-scale solar farms, and EV charging stations. To date, the state of Malacca has progressed on various energy-related projects, namely solar farms, electric mobility, energy-efficient buildings, and smart meters. However, all these technologies are not linked up together, and therefore, it cannot provide a bigger picture of smart city at state level. With this, the Smart Grid Demo project aims to integrate different EE and RE related technologies which could be used to support grid flexibility and efficiency with the smart grid environment. For example, we have 11 kV large-scale solar farms, solar thermal, and electric vehicle charging station integrated to our system to demonstrate a set of fit-in renewable sources and sustainable technologies within the city. In addition, we also have the battery energy storage system, which is currently operating at one of the low voltage sites of this distribution feeder of TMB substation with fit-in solar to the grid. Meanwhile, the installation of smart meter have achieved more than 300,000 units in Malacca alone. So TMB advanced metering infrastructure are enabling residents and large power consumer to make informed decisions about their energy usage. The Smart Grid Demonstration Project is currently working on integrating this data to provide GHG emission tracking, which is real-time, to consumer and integrated smart grid control center to the state of Malacca. So under this Smart Grid demonstration project, data integration and reporting are implemented through cloud-based Internet of Things (IoT) technology, as shown in the diagram. Okay, this project builds based on 4 IoT layers, that is device, network, platform, and application. The first layer is the device layer, which comprises of energy management system toolkit installed on site. Okay, so TMBR has developed an in-house product, which is shown in this picture over here. Okay, so basically, we install this EMS toolkit on site to tap data from smart meters that have been installed by TMB. So, for example, we have EMS toolkits installed on commercial buildings, solar farm, EVCS, battery system, as I've mentioned earlier. Data type, which is actually we tap the energy consumption data and we send this to the gateway. So the second layer is called the gateway, which bridges data from the EMS on site to the MBR server. So data type from EMS will be sent to gateway through MQTT to the application server. MQTT is a standard messaging protocol for the IoT using Wi-Fi and cellular 4G network. So the third layer is the platform, which is the application server that acts as a middleware from receiving the data and sent to the database. Okay. So the database comprise of data warehouse and data mart. So data warehouse store all raw data, while data mart store process data, which comes from ETL. So ETL is actually a data pipeline used to compute raw data coming from this data warehouse to data mart. So the final layer is the interesting part. So the last layer is the dashboard, which will visualize the data. The dashboard are the virtual energy manager that will be handed over to site owner. So we have two dashboards, which is the single user dashboard that will be handed over to site owner, and the unified dashboard will be handed over to the state of Malacca. So I will now share our current achievement for this smart grid demo project. Under phase 1, the MBR has carried out preliminary assessment on interconnected facilities. This includes survey to EV charging station. We have large-scale solar farms, commercial buildings, battery energy storage system at TMB substation. We then perform installation work. As we get, from this one is the EMS Toolkit B installed at the EV charging station. This is EMS Toolkit A being installed at commercial buildings. Okay, so currently in total, we have integrated 8 megawatt of solar PV farm, 10 commercial building, 1 battery energy storage system, 1 EV car charging station, 10 residential smart meter data under phase 1 alone. So more integration works are being done in the next phase 2 and phase 3. So under phase 2, single user dashboards are developed to provide system accessibility to site owner that have agreed to join this project. This dashboard enable customizable energy management dashboards, which I am now sharing a sample of a dashboard of a municipal city council in Malacca. As you can see, the data is live data, which is real time. It contains advanced analytical value, which we are forecasting the next 30-minute load. Hence, building owner may start to take actions to reduce the load if necessary and enhance their energy efficiency. Okay. The dashboard also provides analytical information of energy saving of the building. This is done by analyzing the consumption baseline load, CBL, and compare with the current load of the building to determine the saving. Okay, I'll give you just an example from this dashboard here. As this recorded energy, which is the current energy, is lower than the baseline load. So it shows that actually it has the energy saving. So the dashboard shows positive and green, which means the site owner is doing a good job in maintaining their current consumption. Okay. So I will proceed with the next page of the dashboard. The dashboard, we also provide real-time GHG emission tracking. The calculation is based on ton CO2 equivalent, which is based on updated grid emission factor, GF. This GHG tracking allows site owner to understand and value their contribution in conserving their energy. Similarly, analytical work is also done by calculating the baseline emission based on energy consumption. Then the current GHG emission is compared to the baseline load to determine whether any GHG reduction is achieved. From the sample, the building and owner manages to reduce their GHG emission. Last but not least, the dashboard provides measurement and verification data, which we tap from our EMS toolkit. How are we providing this MNV? We compare this data to the data obtained from our utility, TNB, to ensure that our data is reliable and accurate. So far, we managed to ensure that our data has low percentage error. So through our virtual energy management solution, our ultimate goal is to provide up-to-date tracking on GHG reduction contribution from all the integrated energy components throughout the project duration. At the end of phase 3, we are projecting annual reduction of 45,089 tons CO2 equivalent per year, which is about 3,757 tons CO2 equivalent per month at the end of phase 3. So currently we have just entered the third phase of the project, and currently we are seeing a positive GHG avoidance. Supposedly we should reach 939.4 tons CO2 equivalent per month, but we reach beyond that. This coming mainly from solar PV installation. This proves that renewable is a centric solution for GHG emission avoidance. Okay, so this is our, I would say our final product is ongoing. We are still developing this dashboard. We are working towards an integrated smart grid monitoring center within the state of Malacca. Okay, so basically this dashboard will provide measurement and verification of GHG reduction for all of the integrated components that we have. So I wouldn't give basically I'm not showing the actual numbers because of the NDA, but I'll just show what we have, current features that we have. So in this dashboard, we can see that we have integrated a number of components. So we have 7 solar PV farms, 3 EV charging stations, 44 commercial buildings, 34 residential data, and also solar thermal to our database. So we also provide the state government to see the breakdown of GHG reduction of each of the component. And we also show the total, the yearly and also the monthly GHG reduction achieved by each component, and also overall GHG, overall technology as well. So what we can learn, lesson learned from this this smart grid demo project. We learned that this provides several benefits, which strengthening the partnership role. Through this project, facility owners gain the benefit as strategic partner by participating in this global project funded by UNIDO and JEF. Secondly, awareness in smart grid technologies. Both the MBR as solution provider and facility owner as technology recipients are learning a lot in accelerating towards environmental sustainability in terms of energy efficiency and renewable energy. Thirdly, platform for collaboration. Facility owners are provided with opportunities to participate in other project components under smart grid, such as policy framework, capacity building, and awareness events. Fourth, GHG emission reduction. Through this project, facility owners and the state of Malacca are able to track their GHG reduction in real time to become empowered customers. Fourth, the virtual energy manager. Throughout this project, facility owners will face zero cost for any integration of equipment or the system. Sixth, call for sustainability action. Through the provided dashboard, facility owner will become more informed and proactive in optimizing their energy consumption and therefore accelerating towards sustainable development. Okay. On our side, we believe that with so many data sources, it makes sense to analyze this data to optimize facility operation, reduce energy expense, and improve asset management. Smart grid is a key component of a future where information technology and human actions combine to create robust, low-carbon economy for the future. I think that's all from me. Thank you for your attention. For any questions, you may drop an email, and I'll be more than happy to respond. Thank you and have a good day.
Thank you so much, Dr. Parini, Minti Mohammed, and I think we can ask the participants also questions, but a little question from my side is, what do you think we can implement this project in other locations other than Malaysia? Do you think that this same technology we can implement?
Yes, okay. Thank you, Greg, for that. I would say a good question. Basically, this smart grid project, I believe, has been done to other countries as well. But this is the first in Malaysia, and if I'm not mistaken, even in the Southeast region, this is the first demonstration project. So after the end of this project, we are planning to replicate to other cities as well in Malaysia. Yes,
that's nice. So we can, just change some of the weather or any capacity building according to the country restrictions, and then we can use it to any other country, right? Except Malaysia and other territories also. Then
yes,
we can. All right, all right. So it will be very, thank you so much, Doctor, for a wonderful presentation and everything that you explained about the smart grids. Now I know better. Even this was all a new information for me, and I'm very sure for the participants also. Thank you so much for your time. I would request my host, Alam, to just take our group photo together before you leave us.
Yes, ma'am, please screen share so I can take the full screen. Could you please stop your screen share? Thank you, ma'am. Okay, on count 3, I will be capturing photos. So everyone, please be on camera. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, screenshot taken.
Thank you, Alam, for your facilitation in taking our group photo. And thank you, Dr. Farhini Bindu Muhammad. Thank you so much. So let's go toward a little 5 minutes break, and we will join back. You can gather information, or if you have any questions, you can also take our chat box. You can ask several questions about the speakers, and we can direct you directly to the speakers later on. So please ask questions. Please take this opportunity as a learning opportunity to learn about several things that we are discussing today, and take it as a wonderful platform that Dr. Harun has today given you as an opportunity to learn. So I hope that you will be taking a lot of information with you, and just keep joining. The link is also already shared in the chat box. So ask questions that you have, anything, and you can later on, we can also ask in the summit also. Thank you so much. Let's go towards the 5 minutes break, and I will join back. Thank you.
Hi, do you know why we should engage with IEEE Young Professionals early in our career? Well, what is IEEE Young Professionals and how can it help us? IEEE Young Professionals is an international community of enthusiastic, dynamic, and innovative members and volunteers. Any IEEE member can be a young professional, and any member who received their first professional degree within the last 15 years is automatically considered a YP. Now, IEEE Young Professionals is bigger than you may think. It is one community in 10 regions across 183 affinity groups and more than 120,000 members around the world. So, why should we engage with IEEE Young Professionals, you ask? It is a place to connect and network with other professionals, enrich our career and personal lives, and participate in social events and activities. We can participate in many professional networks such as IEEE Collaboratech, IEEE email account via Google Apps, and take part in local meetings and online activities such as conferences and job fairs. We can also access the IEEE Center for Leadership Excellence for on-demand content. This really is an excellent resource to equip us with professional development skills. The benefits go on and on, particularly for young professionals early in our career as well as students. We can enhance our technical skills by accessing eBook Classics, IEEE Member Digital Library, Spectrum and Potential Magazine, IEEE Explore, conferences, and more. Look, the bottom line is this. We can participate in exciting local events and global webinars for topics such as assessing emotional intelligence, fundamentals for leadership and ethics, heroes networking for engineers, survival guide for scientific writing, conflict management, negotiation tactic, and others. For all these great reasons, engaging with IEEE Young Professionals may be one of the best decisions that we can make in our personal lives and professional career development. That is why we should engage with IEEE Young Professionals. Hi, do you know why we should engage with IEEE Young Professionals early in our career? Well, what is IEEE Young Professionals and how can it help us? IEEE Young Professionals is an international community of enthusiastic, dynamic, and innovative members and volunteers. Any IEEE member can be a young professional, and any member who received their first professional degree within the last 15 years is automatically considered a YP. Now, IEEE Young Professionals is bigger than you may think. It is one community in 10 regions across 183 affinity groups and more than 120,000 members around the world. So, why should we engage with IEEE Young Professionals, you ask? It is a place to connect and network with other professionals, enrich our career and personal lives, and participate in social events and activities. We can participate in many professional networks such as IEEE Collaboratech, IEEE email account via Google Apps, and take part in local meetings and online activities such as conferences and job fairs. We can also access the IEEE Center for Leadership Excellence for on-demand content. This really is an excellent resource to equip us with professional development skills. The benefits go on, particularly for young professionals early in our career as well as students. We can enhance our technical skills by accessing ebook classics, IEEE member digital library, Spectrum and Potential magazine, IEEE Explore, conferences, and more. Look, the bottom line is this. We can participate in exciting local events and global webinars for topics such as assessing emotional intelligence, fundamentals for leadership and ethics, peerless networking for engineers, survival guide for scientific writing, conflict management, negotiation tactic, and others. For all these great reasons, engaging with IEEE Young Professionals may be one of the best decisions that we can make in our personal lives and professional career development. That is why we should engage with IEEE Young Professionals.
Welcome back, everyone. So I hope you had a small break, but you had an awareness session about what a young professional IEEE does and how the engaging that will be. You will learn more ethical values. You will build up your network of highly professional engineers. So I think so that's very much important for each of us to build our network faster and to improve our skills with being the right people. So IEEE Young Professional is the really good platform for you to engage and learn from starting of your career. I feel like that's why you can see from the video also, there are a lot of engagements that we already planned, and this summit is also being planned. But also future events would be coming on for more exciting things, so stay tuned. And also for all participants, please fill up your attendance form and also fill up the feedback form for our awareness. So what we can improve in our summit further, what was really nice of the sessions that you like. So we would love to hear back your feedback, and all the participants, please fill up your attendance sheet. So let's move towards our next session. That would be of Alvin Paul. He is the Secretary of IEEE Power and Energy Society, young professional. He is graduated in Bachelor's of Technology in Mechanical Engineering and working in the Quality Department of Jessic Plastic. So let me introduce to IEEE young professional benefits and a membership by Alvin Paul, Secretary of IEEE PES Young Professionals. So I welcome Alvin Paul on the floor so he can introduce you with the benefits and the membership of the IEEE Young Professionals.
Hi, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, thank you. So actually I'm joining from my mobile, so I already shared the PPT with the team.
Yes, I will be sharing the slides.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Myself, I'm Alvin Polat. Yeah, yes, thank you. Okay, so myself, I am Alvin Paul. I am currently volunteering as Secretary of IEEE PES Young Professionals, and I would like to share more details about the IEEE PES Young Professional and its activities in last 2 years. So hope you from the beginning onwards you hear more about the IEEE PSYP from our regional representative Dr. Harun and during the inauguration from the CMA. So I would like to share more details what all opportunities for volunteering in PSYP to the all young professionals, especially in PES. So myself, I'm Albin. I'm graduated in Bachelor of Technology in Mechanical Engineering and currently working in Quality Department of Gas Plastic in Hungary. In the slides, you can see in the next slide, share more details about PES. So I don't wish to share more details about PES because I'm sure that all members currently viewing currently attending the regional summit across the world I'm sure that they will know about the PES and the Power and Energy Society. And if anyone who is not aware of PES, just Google it, and I'm sure that it contains more valuable information than I said. So PES is one of the societies in the world largest technical association of engineers. So it provides recent development in electrical power industry. So I would like to share more details about its young professional activities. Like Simay, our chair mentioned in the next slide. Okay, like our chair Simay, she is mentioned in the here in our inaugural section. So PSYP came under the governing structures in PES. So I would like to introduce our committee members, and it show how we are diverse and how how we will provide the membership development activities and initiative to the West. So in the next slide, you can see our committee is head by Chair Simay Akkar and Vice Chair Adidoi and Genli and past Chair John Hoffman. And we have our 4 license which connect the PESYP with the other committees, including the Women in Power and Humanitarian Activities, Student Activities, and PES Day. To ensure that we were providing the high quality technical content and technical event, and we came up with a new initiative. We have in total 7 subcommittees, which include the marketing and communication and educational and professional development activities, industry outreach and entrepreneurship activities, new initiatives, and events and conference and technical coordination subcommittee. So also we have the dedicated 4 regional representatives, which include the Dr. Harun from Harun for the Asia Pacific region, and Gowan for the USA and Canada, and Ayman he's for the Europe, Middle East, and Africa, and Luis he's for the Latin America. And also in our team, we have the special person for our Powering the Future Summit and the Smart. So through these dedicated committee members, we were providing very more initiatives, more events to the which give more value to our IEEE membership. So I would like to introduce our regional representative team who were organizing this summit in an excellent way. So I actually congratulate the leadership of Dr. Harun and each and every members who support him for this great initiative. And as a member, as a PES member and a young professional which means like you saw in the last video, if a graduate, if a member who is completed their first graduation degree and up to the 15 years in either 15 years, they will be a young professional member. And if the person he or she having the IEEE membership and PES membership, they are IEEE PES young professional. So if you wish to represent your chapter in the PES YP, you can apply for the region PES chapter representative. And if you are from the region 10 in Asia Pacific region, you can be the part of the great team led by Harry. So in this way, you can elevate your professional life, and you get connected with more members through this role. So in the next slide, I would like to share the various activities which we were conducted in the last 2 years. I'm mainly focusing on the last 2 years because from before that also we were organizing various initiatives. So like you say, we have the 7 subcommittees. So each the committee will be focusing on the different field, which is much essential for an engineer or much essential for improving ourselves. So as part of their initiative, we were organized various initiatives, which include the virtual industries visit to the leading companies across the world. It includes the freedom factory from the India, and it includes the other lab from USA. You can, as part of the PESA, you can see the virtual IVs in the PES YP YouTube channel. And we are also organizing our Educational and Professional Development Committee, organizing the series of educational webinar. And we completed the 4 webinar, which an average participation of 160, around 160. So you can also see it on our YouTube channel. The high quality and high-end technical training is provided through the webinar, which is organized by Shah as part of his educational subcommittee activities. And we were also providing the STEP initiative, means the Student Transition and Elevation Program. So as part of this program, we were organizing various events like the elevation pitch, how to write an elevation pitch, how to get scholarship, and what the industries expect from a student, particularly in the power and energy field. So this one poster, the one poster that guide on the SOP development for achieving scholarship. We have also the Technical Activity Coordination Committee. So they were actively contributed to the development of PESYP newsletter. So it's a monthly newsletter. In the next slide, you can see it's a monthly newsletter called Power Tech. So if you wish to subscribe this, we will share the link after this section or during the summit, or maybe in the WhatsApp group. So it's contained the high-end technical in a simple way to get easily absorbed. So that's a major initiative from the PES YP. And we have also the other events like, so in the next slide, please. IEEE PES YP virtual networking program, which we introduced in last year. And we have also the other activity booth and some reception during the various conference, and also we have their programs, YP track and YP receptions, including in the various leading conference, including the PES, GM, and Rising Star Conference, Power Africa Conference, and various other conference. So these are the major initiatives. So in the our humanitarian support team, which is led by Juliana, she is also introduced them talk series on a interview or interaction with the humanitarian project leader. So all these details, all these recordings are available in our PSYP YouTube, so you can search it after this summit. So these are the events that we were organized in these last 2 years. So in the next slide, you can see that's the Powering the Future Summit. The Powering the Future Summit, which introduced in last year, the maiden edition of the annual flagship program of PESYP. So our Vice Chair Adedoyin, she will be share more details about the Powering the Future Summit. So the first edition was a huge success. So in the next slide, you can see it's received 400 registration from 46 countries, and it provided various software training, entrepreneurship development program, and the talk from eminent speakers across the 30 speakers from 18 countries. So Adedoyin share more details about the summit, and in the interval break time and on the beginning of the summit, you can see the video of the Powering the Future Summit 2022, and the date is declared. So when the registration open, I invite all the participants to register and gain more from PESYP. It contains various networking ambassador programs. So I'm sure that it will be beneficial for you as an engineer and also as a volunteer. Then in the next slide, this is the next slide after the coming slide. Yeah, this is the other excellent program which is organized by our Women in Power license, Preeti. So as part of her activities, she introduced the She for Hair mentoring program, and which was the 3-month program from the January to April, and the 4 graduates graduated the training. It includes the technical training and the professional development training. So if you have any doubt regarding the She for Hair mentoring program, you can ask to the Adedoyin. She will be sharing the Powering the Future Summit. So she is a graduate, or she is part of this She for Hair mentoring program. And also the another one initiative is VIP FM 113.0. So in every month, the first Saturday, the program is scheduled, and sometimes the day there's a change in date. So you can see the recording is also in the PESYP YouTube. The main objective of the program is to introduce the potential person who can be a mentor of yourself. That we introduce the great people to the our members. So if you feel that okay, their experience and their skill will motivate you, then you can directly get connected with them. So that was the main objective of She for Hair program. So in the next slide, like Simay mentioned, it's the PESYP Ignition Funding Program. So the PES professional chapter who can they can apply for the PESYP Ignition funding. So it's 500 USD program to support the membership development activities and various initiatives of the young professionals in the PES chapter. So in the first call, we received a huge response, and from the region 10, the IEEE Sri Lanka, PES Sri Lanka chapter, Kerala chapter, and Bombay chapter, they received funding for for their initiative. So the cycle 2 is still open. So maybe in this year or the coming year, you can apply for it. So in the next slide, you can see this is another great initiative that we introduced in this year, that is the regional summit. So I'm happy to and actually congratulate the regional representatives that with this summit we successfully completed the 4 regional summits, which covered the entire globe. So it's the sections recording will be available in YouTube. We organize it for USA, Canada, EMEA, Latin America, and finally the region, Asia Pacific region. So these are the various events that we were organized. And in the next slide, you can see in last year, PSY, the IEEE Young Professionals celebrated the 25th anniversary. So we are also part of that. Like in the previous slides, I just shared the technical content and how you can learn more and how you can absorb the more technical from PSYP. So other than this technical content, the PSYP and all the young professional groups in IEEE, they were providing more networking opportunities. So personally, as a young graduate, because I was graduated in 2020, so within this 2 or 3 years, 2 years, it's given me a lot of opportunity to identify my potential on in which, and it helped me to understand my weak point and help me to improve. So like in every young professional group, it helped me to interact with various people, especially the various persons across the world, and it develop and improve your skills. So these all things that I would like to share the PSYP. And if you are interested to be the part, we have various role or volunteering opportunities is available in PES. It's either in a technical as member of the subcommittee or the chapter representative. So if you have, if you wish to know more about PSYP, you can write to me with the email ID, or I'm active in LinkedIn and other social media platform, or you can directly contact Harun, Dr. Harun, and he will always happy to help you by sharing more details of PSYP. So thank you very much, the entire team, for giving the opportunity to introduce and share more details about PSYP. So in the coming section, I'm sure that you can learn more about technical and in networking, where we have a great speaker. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Alvin, for your time. And it was a wonderful presentation and a lot of information for our new participants who doesn't know about what's coming and what are the benefits and the membership. I think Sri for her and also the Women Empowerment Panel is such an amazing thing that most of the organizations doesn't have. So I am happy that we have that. And also the ignition funding that Alvin talked about. So you should all check out the links. And if you have any queries or something, that you can also fill up the form information. Please mark your attendance and give us a feedback. So for our wonderful speakers who have drilled down their time for you and informed you about the wonderful benefits and the information that's coming from Young Professionals platform IEEE. So I'm looking forward to all of your participation, and I hope that you join the platform, because new opportunities will be coming for you. Let's take our photo together. Please turn on your cameras with Alvin and Paul. And Alam would be leading this.
Okay, okay, again on count 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, photos taken.
Thank you so much, Alam. Let's move towards our next speaker. I'm really excited towards moving it and learning from him. Muhammad Effendi Yaqub is a wonderful speaker, and let me give you a little bit introduction about him. Muhammad Effendi graduated with his engineering degree in multiple disciplinary bachelor degree in electrical and electronic in 2003 and continued MSc in engineering management by the year 2005, both in University Putra, Malaysia. He successfully defended his PhD doctorate in March 2014 in the field of power energy. Effendi, who is the electrical engineer by profession, has worked more than 10 years in building maintenance, project engineering designs and construction, and safety, health and environment concurrently. He is actively involved in multiple activities organized by IEEE PES Malaysia and he is the Vice Chair Technical for the Malaysian Society for Agriculture and Food Engineers, MSEA. MSAE, his research interests are in green and renewable energy, agrivoltaic system, water purification, solar PV system, and environmental impact assessment. His research team managed by the secure IEEE funds and received the first Malaysian Book of Records, MBR, for the largest Herbert agrivoltaic farm for natural cooling mechanism. So I'm super excited to welcome Dr. Effendi Yaqub. The floor is yours for the next 30 minutes.
Okay, thank you, Sadia. Thank you, Sadia, for the kind introduction. So I'm Effendi from Malaysia, University Putra, Malaysia. Thank you, Dr. Harun and his team for inviting me on the IEEE PES Young Professionals General Summit. So I'll be delivering, I'll be sharing some of the outcome of my recent project on the development of clustered missile kuching plots in solar PV farms, focusing on the natural cooling mechanism. And for the talk today, I will be sharing some of the digitalization which we have used at our project. So this project is funded by the Ministry of Energy under the Mesita grant. Okay, can you hear me loud and clear? All right, thank you. So this is our team who already cultivated 25,000 units of missile kuching herbs directly under the solar panels. So the focus of our research is basically to optimize the space. You see here, this is the solar PV panels. So under the agrivoltaic integration, we are optimizing the space directly under solar, which is currently not being utilized. So the project first is to optimize the space, and secondly, to cool down the solar PV modules. And then we have been granted the Malaysia Book of Record for the largest herbal agrivoltaic system on the natural cooling mechanism. So these are some of the snapshots during the event. I think more than 10, the media coverage during the launching of the MBR. So these are some of the topics we'll cover. Overview of the agrivoltaic, and then the agri-digitalization will cover the drip fertigation, environmental assessment, energy monitoring, and also the autonomous ground robots. So we are also using the ground robots. We are not using the drones because we are in the solar farm. If we are using the drones, it will create shading to the surface of the solar. So it will affect the generation. So we are using the ground robots. So these are some of the snapshot on agrivoltaic. It has been, I think, more than 10 years around the world in terms of the agrivoltaic integration in US, in Europe. For Malaysia, I think it is more than 5 years. During my PhD time, we have started the agrivoltaic. It's still new in Malaysia. And then we've seen some of the countries, for example, US, promoting the agrivoltaic integration, and then they are providing some fund to develop the agrivoltaic large-scale solar project. So this is some of the collaboration we have already integrated, or we have already tried to communicate in terms of the ministry level and in terms of the solar operator level. So we have been pitching out some of the good benefits of agrivoltaic to them, and it seems a very good feedback from the solar operator, especially on the cooling mechanism. So they have given very good feedback because, for example, for a 30 megawatt peak system, to increase 1% generation, they require approximately 2 million ringgit for 1% increase. So by doing a natural cooling, they can increase clearly 3%. I will show you the result later on. So what we have done so far is in terms of the natural cooling mechanism to increase the yield. So the first objective we already achieved, which is implementing or applying the natural cooling through herbal cultivation. for the large-scale solar. And then the second one is to improve the soil structure and ground resistivity level to reduce damages to site equipment. I will share what are the impact of the improper earthing level. So some of the issue at large-scale solar is in terms of the earthing, the lightning spikes because of improper earthing. So we also cover some part of the earthing on the large scale solar. So this is some of the snapshot on the misai kucing. Misai kucing has been in the market, in Indonesian market, in Thailand market, I think more than 100 years, because it is one of the ancient herbal remedies. I think India also once consumed these herbs for the blood circulation and whatnot. And then the remedies is also good for cancer treatment for misai kucing. And we are also cultivating other crops as well. For example, this one is the bayam Brazil, and then we call it a serai, sukunyit, and some other we call as a kitchen vegetables. And also we are planting the pineapples, the MD2. We already cultivated, I think, 8,000 units of MD2 besides the misai kucing herbs. So we can see that there is abundance of available space directly under solar and also between the buffer zones. You see, for a typical solar farm, the buffer area is approximately 30% of the total coverage area. So that 30% is actually unused, unutilized. So we are utilizing the buffer zone between the panels and then along the fencing line between the substations. So which is not utilized. So we are using the space for special crops. For example, pineapple, it cannot be cultivated directly under solar. It cannot be shaded. Misai kucing can because it is a shaded tolerant plant. But for pineapple, it has to be direct sun. So that's why we are utilizing the pineapple in the buffer zones. So these are the first round of the agri-digitalization of the drip fertigation. So we are using automated dosing system. You see here some of the snapshot already installed at site. We are using mostly is in terms of the EC value and the pH value, because these two parameter is most likely the most prominent parameter for plant growth. So normally they will measure the EC value and also the pH value. And then from there, they will know whether the fertilizer is good enough for the plants. Okay, so we are using also the drip. So we have the valve, we have the stopcock system, and then we have the monitoring. So that is one of the digitalization being implemented. Although it is not at high end, but still through the input and output of these parameters, we can monitor what are the volume of the drip going to the crops. We have 25,000 units of misai kucing. It is very huge, 25,000. So if we are relying on manpower, I think more than 10% is required to monitor the fertigation. So we are using automated fertigation system. All right, this is the first one. Sorry. Okay, next is in terms of the environmental data monitoring. For us researcher, data is very crucial, especially related to energy and also environment. So the first one is in terms of monitoring the environment. So we are measuring the ambient temperature. You see here the first graph. It shows the ambient temperature at a precise 1 minute interval. So we are actually deploying our own system to log the data at a cheaper price, because if you want to buy the system for 1 minute logging system, I think more than 20,000 ringgit. So we have to custom it based on the existing available sensors and also the bots, the controller bots, and then modify according to our needs. So we are logging at 1 minute interval for the ambient temperature and also the RH value, relative humidity. So these are the main component or main parameter for the environmental monitoring. And then we also measure the wind speed and rain collection for the purpose of research and also for the purpose of the plants cultivation, because if we know the trend of the rainy season and what is the volume of rain being captured in the site. So it will help us in terms of storing the water, rainwater storage. The wind is also a good parameter, because from this value, from this trend, the wind profiling, we can see that the impact of wind flowing through the panels. See, we have two systems. We have installed two weather stations. One is near the perimeter line, the fencing line, and another one is located directly on the center of the solar farm. The solar farm size is 5 acres. It's quite big. 2 megawatt peak system is quite big. 5 acres, and then it is square. So we put one weather station directly in the middle of the farm area, to measure in terms of the wind, the same parameter, the wind, ambient, the relative humidity and whatnot, and then we compare what is the difference between these two locations. We assume that the location at the middle provides very low wind speed and very high ambient temperature because of the location, but still based on the data, it is not. Most likely it's the same. So from this data, we can argue in terms of the location wise, if we want to do things on the center side of the solar farm or in the perimeter lines. Right, so this one is the ambient temperature profiling. We are measuring the detail per minute logging data. For this one is for 5 days monitoring. You see, I think this one is in March this year. So we are measuring WS1 is in the perimeter line, near the fencing line, means that there is a wind flowing from the nearby area, as compared to WS2, weather station number 2 is in the middle of the solar structures. So most likely it will be cramped. A lot of solar modules. Okay, this is the result gain. So most likely it is not that much difference in terms of the location and in terms of the value of the ambient temperature for these two locations. The solar farm is located in one of the industrial area in Puchong, Malaysia, which is nearby to the shop lots. As compared to other solar farms, they are located in the jungle, near the palm estates. So the different location provides different reading, most likely. But for us in Puchong, it is near a shop lot, industrial area, industrial estate. So this is the wind profiling. We have gathered the data. Most likely shows some maybe slightly difference in terms of the weatherization near the fencing. It is more likely higher, little bit as compared to in the middle. Okay, this one is monitoring through 5 days. 5 days monitoring. And then the humidity profiling, you can see that near the fencing line, it is much higher in average as compared to in the middle, because of the heat, maybe due to the heat value, or maybe in terms of the prolonged duration of heat in the middle side. Okay, this is important for us also, because if you want to integrate agrivoltaic in a large scale solar, we will see the impact of this high humidity towards the plant growth. Okay, so one of the criteria on the plant is also on the humidity level. The third one is in terms of the energy monitoring. So we are using SMA inverter. We are collaborating with the existing solar operator. So UPM is not installing the solar farm. It is not owned by us. We are just leasing the solar infrastructure to another company who install and commission the solar operator, the solar farm. So we are just going in as a tenant, basically a tenant, doing some research work. So the solar operator provides us with some of the information in terms of the data logging for their energy generation. So this is the one of the good implementation application of the digitalization for solar PV system. So they can monitor through apps, they can monitor through their online system. Okay, this is the SMA inverter they're using. So we also have the privilege to use this data for our research. And then from this information, we can compare in terms of the agrivoltaic plots, and also compare with the normal plots. Normal plot means without any plants. Okay, this is what we have got so far. in terms of the power generation, the DC generation for each plot. So this area is the total area is approximately 7.5 acres. 7.5 acres, and then the installed area for PV is approximately 5 acres. The total the total area for the PV is approximately 5 acres. So that's why I'm sharing some information on the buffer zone. You see here a lot of buffer zone, buffer area without any activities done in the solar farm. So this buffer is most likely same with other solar farms throughout Malaysia, and I think same with other countries as well. They have the buffer zones. So the buffer zone is actually their plan for future, but based on the current condition, current energy trend and the pricing, so I believe they will be stagnant in terms of expanding the solar modules. So that's why it is a good chance for agriculture to utilize the unused space, the buffer area. So for me, I'm using all the area in the solar farm. One is in terms of directly under the solar for the misalnya kucing herbs, and the buffer zones where we cultivate the pineapple. So for this total area, we already cultivated 8,000 units of pineapple plants, pineapple crops. So this is a good data to compare in terms of the agrivoltaic and non-agrivoltaic plots. See, based on this, we have concluded that the DC increase of agrivoltaic integration in the solar farm is approximately 3%. 3% is very high. 3% is very high when we are talking about increasing the DC generation. That is in terms of direct measurement of the power value, the DC power value. But in terms of the lifespan, if the herbal cooling mechanism being applied in solar farm, it will also increase the lifespan of the module itself. So the module has some degradation along the 25 years of its operation. If we implement the natural cooling approach, it will expand the lifespan of the modules. So that is the normal practice. But in terms of how much expansion of the lifespan, still under study. As of now, we only measure in terms of the DC generation, and we can conclude approximately 3% of energy increase by implementing agrivoltaic at the existing solar PV plots. You see, agrivoltaic and non-agrivoltaic, so they can increase approximately 3% of the DC generation, which is very high. In the US, they have also studied this approach by using natural cooling, and then the reading is approximately 2.5 until 5% increase in the DC generation. But for larger scale, that one is, I think, less than 5 kilowatt peak system. But now what we are doing is 2 megawatt peak system. So it's very large. Sometimes they say that if we are doing it in a smaller pilot scale, the result won't be the same. So we are doing it at a larger scale, which is 2 megawatt peak system. And then we got 3% of DC generation increase, which is a very, very promising value, especially to the solar operators. You see, in Terengganu, the 30 megawatt peak system, they want to increase 1%, they have to spend 2 million ringgit. Okay, but by just implementing the natural cooling approach, they can increase up to 3%. Okay, right. The fourth one is in terms of the UGV, unmanned ground vehicle. For the solar site, they cannot use the drones as the monitoring, because if the drone is flying low at a lower level, it will create a shading to the solar. Although it is not that much, but still a shade. The most critical issue being discussed for solar operation, solar efficiency, is in terms of this cloud cover, cloud moving, and also dust. So if that non-permanent, for example, the cloud non-permanent shading is an issue being raised. So if we create another potential shading, so it will be a havoc to the solar operator. So that's why we are using the unmanned ground vehicle. This technology is from China. Okay, this one is not, we haven't built up this technology yet. This one is from China, And then the purpose of this vehicle is the first is to monitor the performance of the growth, performance of the plants. We want to see where, because we are the area coverage is 5 acres, is very huge area, and then we want to reduce the cost of labor. Okay, if you want to do daily monitoring to the site, so it will be burden to the existing workers. So we are utilizing this robot to monitor the plant's growth in terms of the pesticide, in terms of the watering, in terms of the condition of the leaf and whatnot, and also the cabling. Sometimes in the solar PV farms, after installation and commissioning, most of the site will be we call as abandoned. You see, because most of the solar operator, they are very pleasant. They are very we call as comfortable when they have got the quota for their site. So once commissioned, most likely the site will be some sort of abandoned, and then we can just see the guard during night shift only, not on the evening shift. Evening shift, no one at site. But also some of the maintenance team sometimes are other. Okay, so if we integrate agrivoltaic and then we apply this robot, it can be monitored daily. So if anything happens, cables torn and whatnot, so we can immediately being notified, and then we can do some urgent repair works for the site, not only for the plant but also for the solar system. So for the robot, we are using this one is SAG robot R150. So the purpose is to monitor, and then it will also help us in terms of spraying the pesticide throughout the plant, and also it will help in terms of doing some ground monitoring for the weeds. So we are planning to use this robot to capture some image on the weeds being the weeds grown in solar farms. Okay, so multiple function of this robot. Beside this reduction of cost on labor, so we can monitor through apps what is the condition on the ground, and then we can store, and then we can zoom out. For example, the weeds we are monitoring, so we can use some of the apps being offered by the company. And this is the training session being conducted at site. Okay, ongoing project. So this is one of the project on agrivoltaic, which is focusing on aqua voltaic. Aqua means water. Aqua voltaic. Okay, right. Okay, this project is ongoing. Discussion with the TMB company under the GSPAC company under TNB. So this is development of the first large scale aqua voltaic project. We have, for example, I can show you. This one is published in article already declared by Can you hear me?
Yeah,
can you hear me?
we can hear you now.
Sorry. So this project is the largest integrated hydroponic aquavoltaic project come ecotourism, because we want to embed the agrivoltaic as a tourism attraction. So people can cross through this lake in Faculty of Engineering UPM. But still, this under discussion. I've been with the team discussing last 2 days for the progress. So hopefully, inshallah, by end of this year, we can see some of the progress of the floating bridge, floating agrivoltaic at Faculty of Engineering UPM. The good thing of agrivoltaic is actually increasing the green jobs. Okay, besides the digitalization of some of the parameter we monitor, it can create the green jobs. You see, if you are referring to a solar system, solar farm operation, once commissioned, it will only left behind with the guard. and maintenance. Sometimes fourth year. Sometimes it will come to site maybe once a month on maintenance. That's it. But if we integrate agrivoltaic to the existing solar farm, it will create abundance of green jobs. Because when we are talking about agriculture, it will have a lot of things, daily works at site. So that is a good thing of agrivoltaic as compared to normal solar farm. And then some other benefits in terms of the land use, in terms of the sustainability, in terms of the soil, in terms of the earthing and whatnot. So multiple impact if we integrate agrivoltaic to the solar system. Right. Okay. This is another project which I'm ongoing project at UPM Solar Farm. You see, after harvesting the misai kucing crops, so we use the ducks. You see, the ducks, and also the sheep as the biological control. So we maintain a sustainability at site. We minimize the use of pesticide, and then we use the biological control for the weed and also for the pest using ducks. So apart from their job, their function as the biological control, we can do the poultry farm, and then from there it creates a secondary business to the existing solar operators. So not only we can optimize the space, we can create another opportunity of business to the existing solar farm. And then the sheep also have multiple function. One of them is to do the eco-grazing. The sheep will graze out all the weeds, reducing the cost of pesticide or herbicides. So we are using on the natural approach. So that's why agrivoltaic is a very good opportunity for the solar industry and also for the agri industry integrated in the same space. So I think that's all for my sharing. So I open for any questions.
Thank you so much, Dr. Afendi, for your wonderful presentation. And I have actually learned a lot, and I hope so my participants would have learned a lot today. So I do have like 3 or 4 questions from the participant side. One question is, Dr. Afendi, will photovoltaic be harmful for aquatic biodiversity?
Okay, thank you for the question. In terms of photovoltaic, for the normal photovoltaic system, it will create some elements of environmental impact because it refers to the surface coverage. For example, in my project at the Faculty of Engineering, we capped at 20%. Only 20% of the solar modules being installed on top of the lake surface. But we have seen some other sites more than 50%, more than 60% coverage area. So if it exceeds a certain limit of coverage area, it will impact in terms of the biodiversity. Yes, for sure. And we have seen some other issue on the crawling weeds on top of the lake. So there is 2 issues on photovoltaic. But for our project, one, we kept at the 20% maximum lake coverage. And second one is we're using the bridge as the structure. So the solar module will be on top, very high, because the people can walk underneath the solar. So it is not directly touching the surface of the lake.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Afendi. My next question is, what kind of aspect we need to focus on for the betterment of our country power generation system? Question is from Anis.
Thank you. My answer is agrivoltaic. Because you see, solar industry is an emerging economy. You see, last time in Australia, last 5 years, agriculture is their main niche area. For wheat, for corns, for a lot of agri-products, agri-based exports. But because of the intermittence, because of the economy downtime, in terms of the COVID and whatnot, so solar has taken the place of the emerging economy. Same goes to other countries as well. So that's why we cannot block solar industry. But the bad thing of solar industry, it requires area, it requires land area, especially the very a good land for agriculture. They want to take that land. So that's why we have the Australian government has introduced agri-solar integration. The US also introduced agrivoltaic. Same goes to Europe, because they see that the potential of the solar is cannot be blocked. Now, the recent news in London, in the new Prime Minister of UK already proposed to block the solar industry, but still, I think it cannot be blocked, because most of the industry, they will fight for the solar. What the approach will be an integration, solar and agriculture at the same stage. Because we cannot block solar.
Yeah, that would be an amazing immersion of the technologies. I think so. We have to work towards the solution of developing both technologies. So that would be really nice. And my third question would be, how frequent or percentage in a year does lightning issue can cause harm for the solar panel?
Okay, thank you for the question. For this site, I think more than 20 times only per year, because this one is located, I think, near to the near to the outskirts of the center, the city center. So in Kuala Lumpur, we have a huge amount of lightning spikes, but it depends on the location actually. And then some other things. This site is near to the building area where they have a good earthing system. So so most likely because they are very high building, 3 to 4 story high, so lightning will attack them first as compared to the open area of the solar farm. But still, the risk of getting struck by lightning is crucial at solar farm. That's why our research is to improve the earthing condition by means of agrivoltaic.
Yeah, I think so. That's very important. Thank you so much. I think so. People have loved your presentation, and the more questions are coming. So I just have 2 more questions for you before you go. Does plant cooling method of solar array not make the manual cleaning of solar array difficult?
Thank you. For the solar cleaning, it is a normal maintenance. For example, in Malaysia, I believe that the cleaning would be 3 months once. Meaning to say that they have already appointed the contractor to clean up this solar surface 3 months 3 month cycle. It is different between our approach to cool down the panel daily basis, because the operation of the solar pumping up the DC generation is a daily basis. So that's why we need to do the cooling approach and on daily basis, not on maintenance basis. So the maintenance is good because if anything covering on top of the solar surface, it will reduce significantly the DC generation. That's why they have the maintenance contracting. But what we are doing now is actually on the bottom side, where the conversion of the power happens. If we can cool down the solar surface ground surface, research have shown that it can increase 1 degree C of energy reduction can increase 0.5% efficiency. 1 degree C of the solar surface module temperature reduction, it can increase 0.5% efficiency. So it's very big. You see? So that's why if we are opting for natural cooling, it can increase the DC generation by mitigating the temperature only.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Afandi.
Yeah.
Please, can you help with the breakdown of the load and battery to be provided? This is just a generic question, I think so.
Load and battery.
Yes. Breakdown.
We are not using battery because for this system, it is directly generating DC to the grid, to the national grid. We are not using battery. We are not storing any energy as of now. But still, I believe that the energy storage technology is being implemented in most of the solar farms because of the excessive energy. But for my site here, we are not storing any energy. Immediately generation to the grid.
Okay, that's good. So I think so. I just have one more question from a team of young professionals.
Yeah.
Bindu, do you want to unmute yourself and ask the question from Dr. Afandi? Okay, let's move forward. I think so. His question has been answered from your previous questions,
Okay,
answers. And thank you so much, Dr. Effendi. It was really good presentation. And I think so we got awareness about what the agro-volatile field and how we can improve it through bio thing and everything. And really thankful that you joined us today in our summit. Let's take a photograph. I think so. My fellow host would take a picture. Sakib.
Yeah,
Please turn on your cameras, everyone.
Okay, on count 3, I will be capturing photos. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Photo taken.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you for listening and asking questions. I think for the agrivoltaic, it is a long journey for me as well, because when we want to promote anything new to the country, it requires the stakeholders, the policymakers, to understand and really appreciate. Because I'm now integrating both industry, both ministry, agri-industry, agri-ministry, and also energy industry, energy ministry. So it is very difficult for me to intervene both. So that's, I think, a lot of long way to go for me on this research.
But I think so you are doing, Professor, you are doing really good. And I think so with the interest of the participants, I can find out that you have a really good way to go, and people are going to agree that this is the most efficient and the sustainable approach towards agri-volatile industry, and how we can arrange these two fields together and make a policy to, bring more sustainable outcomes.
Thank you.
Thank you. So let's move on towards our next session. For that, I would invite Adijoin Ao Alaji for Vice Chair of IEEE PES Young Professionals for the introduction of IEEE PES Young Professionals, Powering the Future Summit 2022. So let's welcome. The floor is yours for 10 minutes. Adijoin.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, you are.
All right. Hello, everyone. It's such an honor to be at the IEEE PSYP Regional Summit for Asia Pacific. And I would like to begin by recognizing the awesome work of Arun and the team. It's been nice hearing the presentation of the previous speaker. Thanks for inviting me. I have a bit of a non-technical role today, but a very exciting role as well, and that is to present a PSYP initiative. So let me begin sharing my screen. Okay, could you please confirm that my presentation slide is visible? Okay,
yes.
Thank you for the confirmation. All right, so just a brief introduction about myself, like already introduced previously. My name is Adijoin Olaji, and I have the privilege of serving as the Vice Chair for the IEEE Power Energy Society Young Professionals. And so my task today is a very simple one, and that is to present to you a PSYP initiative called Powering the Future Summit. We had the very first version last year, and I'm going to share more about it in the following slides. Okay, so the theme of the summit, Powering the Future Summit, is actually empowering the power and energy leaders of tomorrow. And this is basically the maiden edition of the Powering the Future Summit by IEEE Power and Energy Society Young Professionals Global Conference. And the aim of this summit is to upskill young professionals and students and help them gain insights into the innovations emerging in the power and energy industry. And this encompasses stimulating talks, engaging virtual industrial visits, exciting contests, as well as deep and enriching networking opportunities. And our hope is that the summit will open up new avenues for the attendees. Typically, the summit is usually spread over 4 days, over 2 weekends. And this, provides an opportunity to offer an abundance of opportunities for you to learn and flourish. Okay, so just to emphasize more on the reason for this initiative, Power in the Future Summit, the aim is to upskill young professionals, to introduce top-notch industrial training from professionals to professionals, to engage in stimulating talks, to engage in virtual industrial visits, to gain insights into the innovations emerging in the power and energy industry, as well as present opportunities for you to participate in exciting contests and networking opportunities. And our target audience for the Power in the Future Summit is, of course, you, the young professionals, as well as pre-final year and final year student members. But also we're very open to welcoming, pretty much anyone that is interested in the power and energy domain. And these are some of the pictures, exciting memories that we've had as a team right here. Our team basically consists of the executive committee members as well as the subcommittee coordinators. Okay, so this here shows some memories from the Power in the Future Summit that we had last year in order to, excite you and encourage you about our upcoming one. So we had the, high privilege of having Michael Pessin as our keynote speaker last year. And we also had several technical and non-technical tracks. This here shows the technical tracks that we had. We had topics like working with industries on renewable energy and electrification. We also had an entrepreneurship track as well. Okay, so some other tracks we had include a webinar on power quality studies with Dig Silent Power Factory. And then we also had a talk on enhancing traveling wave-based applications. We also had a panel session on discussing the roles of women in renewable energy technologies. And we had a session talking about the IEEE PES Day. Okay, so you might be wondering how you can get involved. Well, I'm very glad you asked because we're always seeking volunteers. One way to get involved is to become a publicity volunteer, meaning serving as an ambassador to publicize about the summit. You can also volunteer to become a content and design creator. You can also join our marketing and outreach team. We're also always in need of technical support and PFS ambassadors. So if you would like to get involved, definitely please reach out to us at IEEE-PESYP@gmail.com. That's the email right here on the screen. All right, so thank you so much for your time and for listening to me. And then finally, I'm very excited to announce that this year's Power in the Future Summit will be happening in the last 2 weekends in the month of November. So please follow us on our various social media platforms to stay informed about the different sessions, the time, and everything in between. Thank you for your time I hope you enjoy the rest of the regional summit.
Thank you so much, Aradin. It was wonderful to have you. And we know that it's pretty late, like 5 a.m. at your place. And we are, we are very thankful that you joined us to be part of the summit. So I would just hand over my host to take a picture of us all together. Please turn on your cameras, participants also. And make a memory.
Please be on camera, everyone. Okay, I will be capturing 3, 2, 1. Can second now second page, third page, fourth page, fifth page. Okay, take it.
Thank you so much, Saqib, and thank you so much, Aradin, for your time and energy.
Thank you.
Literally, we all learned about it, and looking forward to have you another time and get you with this more details. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Before going towards break, I would like my host to play a video on Global Summit. So to get awareness how our events have been and how the summits have been. So let's play it. Thank you so much. And we will have now 5 minutes break. I see you all back again after 5 minutes, and we will continue towards our third speaker and with an interesting topic. Looking forward to have you again. Thank you. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you learned about IEEE PES Young Professional Platforms a lot and the new opportunities that can be very impactful for your career and how you can network within the circles of IEEE. And as you can see, the society and the summit members, including our team, is very facilitating, would take you on board and would take your hands and improve your not only on your technical skills, but all your career path and how to groom yourself and all the details you can find, and you can join us. You have to fill out the attendance form and also the feedback form of our two speakers that already have been done. Now I would like to move forward with my summit with my third speaker. She is Hira Wajahat Malik. Let me introduce my speaker. She is the leading programs and project team in Stimulus for the focus on sustainability, tech clean, and innovation. Hira Wajahat serves as a consultant, coach, and facilitator to create social and climate impact. She has also served as an adjunct faculty in Zebedist, Karachi, and teaching the courses on sustainability and technology, introduction to entrepreneurship and CMEs, SMEs, technology entrepreneurship, and product innovation and design to students at the master's and bachelor levels. In addition, Hira volunteers actively as the Karachi chapter chair for Women in Energy, Pakistan, by GYC and Climate Ambassador for Pakistan 2021, a climate reality leader and South Asian regional advisor for Thought of Food. Hira is an evident reader, enjoys traveling and exploring culture and cuisines. We are really happy and excited to welcome Hira on board with us for the next 30 minutes on the topic of entrepreneurship opportunities in power energy. Welcome on board, Hira Wajahat.
Thank you so much, Ikra. Thank you so much, everybody, for having me here. Just a quick note, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yes, Hira, you are.
Okay, so, perfect. So I think there's already quite a bit that
Hello, can you hear me? Hira?
Yes, I can hear you, but I think
there's a problem. Yeah, there's a glitch.
This probably a small problem. But anyway, is my screen visible as well?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So thank you for having me here and to talk about entrepreneurship opportunities in power and energy sector and within the potential that this field has. Interestingly, I don't think 30 minutes is enough, but and what I'm going to talk about is probably going to seem like it's just, top of the surface, not going in depth. The thing is that some of the speakers that you've had before me were quite technical and they spoke quite in detail. And as a disclaimer, I don't think I can sort of match that technical depth right now. But I do, and I am grateful for the previous speakers to have spoken about emerging opportunities in different industries, how power and energy can be connected to the agricultural sector and other sectors as well. So this is going to be brief, but I'll try to summarize as much as possible the kind of opportunities that we are looking at when we're looking at the future of entrepreneurship. We're looking at the future of technology. We're looking at the future of business. And to start off with a very familiar and well understood by all of you as technical professionals, how the power and energy sector works, right? And the baseline or the very basic infrastructure that we have is that we need something to produce energy. We need something to carry this energy to where it needs to be used. And ultimately, we have users who will utilize this energy. And the reason why I bring this up is because what I want all of you to look at from a different perspective right now, or a different purview right now, not as a technical person, but as somebody who can identify that each of these nodes, wherever there is a creation of a product or service, wherever there is a transfer of a product or service, there is an opportunity for entrepreneurship. There is a business that is going on. And this is where you can contribute with different ideas, with different innovations that you might be working on, and help support the overall value chain for power and energy. So we'll speak more about the value chain, but if we look at what a business is, or in very simple terms what an entrepreneur does. So if I asked you, and you can just quickly type this in the chat, what does an entrepreneur do? What is, when we talk about entrepreneurships, we talk about entrepreneurs. What do you think is the role of an entrepreneur in society, in their communities? A quick 1 line, 2 lines, you can type in the chat if you're available, if it's possible for you. Adi, is participants allowed to write in the chat, Ikra? Yeah.
They are, yes, they are, Hira.
So anybody here who's already started their startup or, has some knowledge of or some interest in, looking at potential entrepreneurial opportunities? All right, I think people are a little relaxed and slow at this time. Maybe it's like after lunch or something. So, they're not really being able to think about it. But let's say you are an entrepreneur, and the bottom line is that you're doing a business, right? So the core is you need to make money. If you're not making money, you'll be out of business. But how do you make money? You will only make money if you have a customer who will buy your product or service. So if you're an energy supply company, if you are a distribution company, if you are somebody who's working on electric vehicles, if you're working in the agri-tech sector, you will be out of business if you don't have any customers who will support your business, right? And so essentially you are servicing some kind of a need that the customer has. You are giving them some kind of value. They need something from you. You are giving that to them. And obviously in exchange for that, they'll be paying you some money. So all businesses circulate around a business model. And I think in the next maybe 10 minutes or so, what I'd like to really think about is how do we create, or where all can we create these business models, and where can we create this value and capture this value, deliver this value to the customers that really need that. So looking at the business model aspect, there are 2 sides to this. One side is you as a business. And when we talk about the business side, let's call it the supply side. And the customer side is at the recipient end, the demand side, right? So the customers demand or need something that the business or the supply side tries to fulfill. So on the supply side, we have something called value chains. Now, if we're looking at the opportunities that you have within this value chain, let's start off with the raw materials. So this is considering you as a business. You could possibly be, already working at a company that's doing this. You could be thinking about starting up. And if we consider the opportunities there, so from the raw material side, the first and foremost is fuels. And at this moment, we have a major crisis because most of the energy generation in the world is from coal and fossil fuel resources. So there is, with the new discussions on climate change and the challenges that most countries are facing, and this is all interlinked in a really interesting sort of way, right? So you have climate impacts that are happening, but a major contributor to this is industry, manufacturing, energy production, anything that consumes energy. So if I trace it back to its nucleus, it's we, all of us as power energy engineers are somewhere at the crux. So what are the alternative sources for fuels that we can bring on, right? So we have an entire study into renewables, alternates like solar, wind farms. We can be in energy generation business. We could be supporting the energy generation business through exploring alternate fuels like tidal energy. That's an interesting and upcoming field. And it's quite, so anything that's quite expensive to manufacture otherwise, it also makes sense to have small scale innovations that can, work around communities and small locations, as opposed to going for something very massive. Because obviously, if we try to do something massive as a startup or an entrepreneur, it's going to cost a lot. So we want to look at very specific elements where we can add maximum value to our users and really create a big impact. So on the alternative sources, we have biofuels, for example, tidal energy, nuclear energy as well, and then interestingly, hydrogen. So companies or startups that are also making electrolyzers to capture hydrogen, and and then water. So if we're looking at energy and use of water, for example, the traditional way of doing it is normally a water falls from a high level to a lower level. But now we also have innovations that allow for water to be lifted up from lower levels to higher levels. And I think there's a really interesting company in Nepal that's working on this. It's called Ikista Pumps. And again, how do we use this water if not for powering our livelihoods, also agriculture, fulfilling our needs of any kind, right? So we could have a potential or massive elements that we could think about in terms of fuels, alternative sources, and then of course the transportation of these, and how do we transport, whether it's going to be in the raw form, whether it's the generation of this energy that's going to be transmitted. We get into the power generation side. Again, power generation could be on 3 levels, nationwide or a large scale grid. We could have micro or mini grids as well. We could have decentralized systems as well. So 3 elements, thinking about which community, which country you're in, what is the need of your customers there. In Pakistan, for example, where I am from, it's not possible to have a large-scale power distribution and power generation anymore because it requires support on the distribution. And in fact, it was interesting. 2 days back, we had a massive trip nationwide because our power distribution system isn't really able to support, the needs of the consumers. And the technology is quite old, and that needs to be updated. But these are challenges that are going to be quite expensive. So if we got into trying to solve all of this, it will take time, it will take money. But the alternate to that is if we can figure out a smarter way of doing this, where we talk about smart grids, where we talk about smart cities, where we talk about, how can we make this easier, break it up into pieces, look at communities, focus on smaller community-based systems where we can think about the kind of power generation or the power resources that we could use. And then the last part is we're looking at customer or the power consumption side of this value chain, right? So anything and anywhere where a customer uses water. So it could be agri-tech, it could be ecotourism, it could be, it was very interesting talking about the hydroponics, about even electric vehicles. And now with the knowing that we don't really have, and fuel prices going so high, I see a lot of innovation even on the e-vehicle side, where it's no longer just cars, but e-bikes, also e-rickshaws, and e-tractors. So I was just looking up at a couple of things, and there's this company in India that actually makes e-tractors, which was really interesting because this is the first I've heard of that as well. So so a lot of and again, it's not just one industry. It's not power generation independently. It's taking into consideration every and any aspect of life at all, right? So on the other side, so we were talking about the supply side, right? So there's some of the stuff that's happening on the supply side. On the demand side, if I look at my consumer, and I'd love to refer to the Sustainable Development Goals here, because our consumers are in need, and they need food, water, energy, access to a whole lot many things. In short, any and every of these goals can translate into some kind of an economic entrepreneurial opportunity, especially for engineers, especially for technical people, whether it's through IoT, whether it's at the industrial level, whether we're looking at city infrastructures, and again, going into depth. So I was just thinking about what to share in this talk, and there was just so much going on that, I was like, how do you even start putting it down? So if we just look at our own cities, for example, mass transit, how do we commute from one place to the other? Most of the cities in South Asia are like overloaded with traffic. It takes hours and hours to, go from one place to the other. What's the easiest solution to that? Mass transit systems. And I think in the rest of the world, and most of Europe, for example, they're all being run on energy or electricity, or they're off fossil fuels completely. So similar elements that we can do over here. And so interestingly, in one city in Pakistan, Peshawar, they just put up a mass transit system that's like clean buses. And then they realized that some of the this bus stops were very far from the other from locations where the riders, the commuters actually wanted to get off and visit. So what they did was they tried out a pilot, and they put up like these e-bikes there for one day, and they had over a million people use those or million uses of those e-bikes. So, picking up the bike from the stop and then going to whatever the destination was and coming back. So again, a lot of different innovative models that can come out. You have ride sharing, you have even something as simple as a nozzle that you can retrofit on taps, saves water, or it's like a mistifier, right? So it saves water, but in effect, what it does in most South Asian countries is it saves a lot of energy as well, because all of our water systems are very heavily dependent on water pumps being run, pulling the water up, storing them in tanks, bringing the water down. So massive energy savings there. In effect, you could also have a possibility of being in some kind of a service side, right? So you're doing audits for the industry, audits for the community. You're doing reliability and precision manufacturing. You could be doing it just slipped my mind that there's just so much going on. So, just the point being that any element of technology, any element of life that we want, there's some kind of entrepreneurial opportunity in that. And in that context, you have to sort of decide, what is your interest, which element you want to look at. You can look at it from the supply side. You can look at it from the demand side. In more recent years, a lot of startups that I've been talking to have actually, very categorically said that the supply side isn't really working. We do need to see what we can do for small communities and groups of customers and what are customers really demanding. So we can think about that. We can think about defining those business models. I think as the last I briefly spoke about already, one of my favorite startups that I've interacted with and I know of, they're based out of Berlin. Met them a very long time back, have kept in touch. I like to keep updated with them. But they are doing, so they've developed this electrolyzer, which is basically generating green hydrogen from the environment. And they have, across so many years, improved the system. This is all done in-house in their lab. They have a energy management system to go along with it that is app-based. And what I really like to celebrate about them is that given the massive climate impact in the world, the companies like Enapter and others are raising a whole lot of funding. Also being eligible for, they won at the Conference of Parties last year, one of the awards initiated, the Earthshot Prize, that's been initiated by the Prince William of the UK, right? So there's amazing technology being developed, there are amazing opportunities being created. I think for us, it's just kind of essential to ask whether we want to, go the traditional path and work in companies, or we want to do a little bit of exciting things and taking a little bit of pain on ourselves, but creating something. And as far as I'm concerned, anything that you can think of or design in a lab can very well be converted into some kind of a technology that can be commercialized, starting off some kind of a business, creating an entire ecosystem, because it's not done alone, right? It requires every single person, every single academician, technology person, all government stakeholders, everybody involved in doing this. So yeah, I mean, business wouldn't work or entrepreneurship wouldn't work if we didn't have all the smart tech guys, tech girls who are, sitting here and putting things together for us. So I think from my side, I just want to keep it very brief. If there are any questions, I'm more than happy to take them on.
Thank you so much, Hira. I think so. I'm looking for questions. If anybody has questions, I would like to have. Hira, I would have a question. I think so. Audience would wait. Since I have the mic, then I would use the opportunity to ask you. Thank you so much, first of all, for the wonderful presentation. And this is the first time that I have seen entrepreneurship aligning with the power and energy sector. So what do you think in like 5 years, Pakistan or the countries like Malaysia should have this type of structure, or there are opportunities or the startup ideas should be there coming from energy and power sector?
I think they're already coming. Unfortunately, what I feel is in Pakistan, it's not documented well enough. I have a couple of examples. I know there's a startup I work with who's actually made a voltage, sorry, it's a load balancing device. And the basic premise of that is that for cities like ours that have a weak grid, there's a lot of load waste, energy wasted because of load imbalance. So this device regulates that, and they've actually, you know, they've raised some money as well. They've also sold to a few customers. I think it's the same in Malaysia. There is a lot of technology development in Bangladesh, in South Asia in general. I just feel it's not well documented enough to give examples, because a European or a German context or a US context, they like to tell about or tell their stories. We unfortunately don't like to tell our stories, but I see the landscape is changing. There is not only the opportunity, there is a lot of willingness for younger people to create their own, or as somebody put it, I want to work for myself. So that is a thing. And I think interestingly, I'm not sure if I've not looked it up for Malaysia, for example, but in Pakistan and in India, I know for a fact that now energy companies also actively, like in Europe. So what they do is they have these design challenges where they've actually asked entrepreneurs and innovators and researchers to put up solutions to different challenges that the company is facing, either from a technology or a business point of view, and to see if they can implement that as part of their own energy venture. So what really happens is they end up creating a spin-off company with the with the new team who's solving the problem, and then they take it on as a new business venture. So that's also something that's happening more recently that I've seen.
All right, thank you so much, Ara. I have one more question from the audience. What is your advice for the final year students? Should they go for the skills only to focus on the sector, or just to be an entrepreneur? And if they have an idea, so they will just learn the skills on the way. So what do you suggest that would be?
I think it's up to each individual. Being an entrepreneur has certain risk associated with it, right? You do have to, in addition to the risk, also take a look at what your family scenario is. Everybody who is studying to be an engineer may or may not have certain responsibilities at their home, right? And if that means they cannot afford to, being an entrepreneur means you're giving up at least 3 to 4 years of your life, because when you start off a new company, you will be in negative balance for at least 3 years.
That's true.
You only start getting into positive in the 4th. So if your responsibilities and life does not allow you to, I don't think one is better than the other. Each has its own pros and cons, but it's up to the individual what they need to do, and what is the sort of support they can get, what are the sort of risks they can take, and I think that would basically be my response to that.
Yeah, I think so. That's like a very important factor that you mentioned. Like everybody's journey would be very different depending on the background and then depending on the responsibilities they have. So also you mentioned that the 3 years part. I think so. Most of the entrepreneur and the coming from the entrepreneurial society, people don't get it. People said, "Oh my God, I'm going to be my own boss," and it's very exciting and it's going to be very bed of roses. But that's the point that you already mentioned is very important for the at least 3 years. It's a hard struggle, and then the 4th year you can get the outcomes. So we should be mentally prepared for that. Yeah,
absolutely. And there is some very good logic in the way a capitalist economy is structured. So you have your management trainee programs that a lot of engineers graduate and they aspire to become a part of, right? And the management trainee program, if you notice, is designed in a way where you do some basic work for 2 years, and then the 3rd year you're sort of in between, rotating and learning things. And there's a reason for that, because scientifically, unless you're 3 years in an industry or in a company, you don't really understand how it works or how the system works. That the same way a new business being set up would work, right? The only difference is you will have all the responsibility on yourself. So you have to be prepared for that. And I think somebody's asking for me to share the slides. I'll email them to the team, and you can probably get them from there. And
also
I see another question from Anwar that smart grid stations have some issues related to communication cybersecurity, not some, very many, because it's literally grid stations talking to each other. So any devices that are connected, they have, it's easy to intercept, it's easy to hack into. So we do need to have, and which is why, interestingly, So most of the state banks, at least in Pakistan for sure, they are not connected to cloud servers. They do not connect to any internet-based communication platform, because that's like a loophole. You can access other systems if you're connected online. So this also creates a lot of opportunity for cybersecurity related entrepreneurial ventures and data security related entrepreneurial ventures. So anywhere there is a problem, there is an opportunity to create something new and have some kind of a solution around it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Mahira. Just one last question, very generic. Some of our team member Bindu wants to ask, like, is it preferable to have a bachelor's degree in entrepreneurship, or we should go for MBA focused on entrepreneurship? If somebody wants to.
So interestingly, I think some of the best entrepreneurs in the world have never studied business. They're actually scientists. They're actually technology people. Let me take the example, for example, Unilever. So does everybody know Unilever? It's a 100-year-old company, right? The founders of Unilever, so one part were the Lever brothers, who were actually chemists. So they were making soap or some soaps and things for washing hands and stuff in the city where they lived. And the other part was a guy who made margarine. So he was also like a food technologist or something like that. So yeah, those guys, I don't think they studied business, but and even most of the big companies in today's world, with the internet booming and the internet technologies and data and everything else, I think it makes more sense to have a stronger qualification that's technical, because then you can learn business skills on the way. A lot of people who've studied business will tell you very gladly they get stuck that when they need to have a technical resolution, they need to rely on other people, and that's very uncomfortable for them because they don't know what's going on. So,
absolutely,
yeah.
Absolutely.
I think you can learn business skills on the way. There's no need to study. Also, I think my favorite pastime is going on to subscribing to one of these MOOCs, the edX or wherever. There's a lot of information available online, and the thing with entrepreneurship or business related information is that you can pick it up easily, but if you're a non-technical person, you can't pick up tech easily. So always the tech, always.
Okay, thank you so much, Hira, for wonderful, engaging, and inspiring talk. I loved it, and I hope my participants would have learned a lot from today's conversation that we had. Thank you so much for your time and joining us for this summit. Let's take a photograph, turn on your cameras, and I would ask my host, Sakib, to take our picture.
Okay. Everyone, please be on camera. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. First page taken. Now second page. Second page taken. Third page taken. Fourth page taken. Fifth page taken. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Sakib. Thank you so much. Thank you. We have all our speakers, 3 speakers done. Now I would like to call Ramani Kalra, editor IEEE Impact Creator, to talk on Stand Apart from Professional Societies. And he would introduce himself. And I think so he has a wonderful session for you ahead for the next 45 minutes. Please welcome Ramani Kalra.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ikra. I'm visible and audible, right? Okay, perfect. So before starting my session, it's, I guess, more than 2.5 years or 3 years we haven't seen human faces. And this is also kind of, unfortunately, a virtual session. I would like to invite everyone on camera, please. Can we have everyone on camera? You can remove me from the spotlight. It's fine. I want to see other faces as well. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Are we going to continue the recording again, or how is it? Perfect. Okay. So first of all, thank you so much to IEEE PES and especially Rasheed sir for approaching me and Bindu from the core team of IEEE PES this summit event. It's again a great privilege to get connected with IEEE PES. I am not a PES member, I'm a computer society member, but being in IEEE for the last 7 years, it gives me always great pleasure to interact with new people and share as much as best capacity and best knowledge what I have gained from my past experience. Disclaimer, this session gonna be very interactive. Please keep your hands on the chat window and we will be asking you to unmute in momentarily, and there will be a small game in the session as well. Okay, let me go ahead and share my screen. And there we go. Ikra, you can do a thumbs up if you are able to see my slide. Perfect. Okay, let's move on. Let's start the session. It's not going to be talk about energy, power, and all the stuff which I am not an expert on. I'm a pure computer science engineer, but I will be talking about something exceptional which actually can help you out, even if you are a pre-university student, undergrad student, postgrad, research scholar, even if you are an academician, professor, or industrialist. Okay, I'm in industry for the last 3 years, and continuing IEEE is again a challenge and a big question for me in every December when I ask my mentor, why should I renew my IEEE membership? I believe many of the non-IEEE members are also there on the call, so would love to interact with them as well. Okay. So a little bit about me. I actually message Ikra personally on the chat window. Please don't introduce myself because I'm going to take that honor to myself only. So I'm an IEEE Impact Creator. That's one of the global position given by IEEE Transmitter. Don't worry, the non-IEEE members on the call, they will be thinking like all things are of IEEE out of syllabus, but we will be covering each and everything step by step. Okay. I am one of the mentor of change in Atal Innovation Mission. That's one of the pre-university activity by Niti Aayog, Government of India. I am an editor of IEEE India Council newsletter. Basically, I hope IEEE members are well aware about newsletters, which we publish every month, every quarterly based on your frequency. I'm the editor for this year. I am the board member in IEEE Pre-University Education Coordination Committee under EAB Board 2022. And I'm a tech coordinator for Youth for Sustainability Alliance. It's a global alliance, but for India chapter, I'm the tech coordinator and helping them out with the technical stuff, maintaining their website, Android application, and all the stuff, what's going on the back end. And of course, I am a stage lover. Obviously, today it's a virtual stage lover. So I'm a stage lover and researcher by my hobby. So I love to publish papers. I love to work on new technologies. I love to interact with people across globe, different countries, so that I can also learn from every one of them. It's not like today I'm going to speak and speak and speak. I'm going to learn from you as well in the chat window. Okay. Perfect. Universal rule, feel free to take pics if required. Okay. And beware, I love to sleep on camera if people are not interacting with me. Okay. So keep your camera open. I would love to see, like I have 2 screens. So one is on PPT and one is on your all beautiful faces. So I would love to see your faces along the way. Okay. Perfect. That's great. A lot of people have joined from smartphones, so it's fine. Don't walk around or somewhere, just settle down somewhere and enjoy the session for the next 40 to 45 minutes. Perfect. Okay, so what's the today agenda? It's very simple. What, why, and how. So we will be discussing what is professional society, why it is so much considerable to you being an undergrad, postgrad, research scholar, industrialist, or academician, wherever, whatever profession you are holding, why professional society is so much important for you, and why I'm pressurizing, and even IEEE is so much pressurizing in this really regional APEC summit. Okay, let me open the chat window as well in parallelly so that I can see the remarks. Okay, perfect. So what is a professional society? Do you think this is a professional society? Wearing some other image in front of professionals, LinkedIn, I am something different, Facebook, I am something different, and this is professional society? We're looking forward to your answers in the chat window. See, that's the Wikipedia definition. I would love to know what you mean by professional society. Go ahead and type your answers in the chat window. See, we have very less time. I have a very hard deadline to stop after 45 minutes. So I would love to chat with you quickly as soon as possible. Perfect. Let's move on. Looking forward to your answers in the chat window. What do you mean by professional society? Don't take the help of Sundar Pichai. Don't Google it. Just tell from your own senses what you mean by professional society. Come on, come on. We'll wait for 1 minute. What do you mean by professional society? It's a very simple question. You don't need to, okay, LinkedIn, IEEE societies, okay. What else? I'm not asking for the examples, I'm asking for the definition. Come on. And I'm not giving any marks to your examinations, so it's fine. You can be wrong. So feel free to chat with me. And I'm a human, so don't worry. Don't be afraid of me. I am not an alien. So feel free to connect with me. Feel free to interact along the session, because otherwise the session will be so boring. I know you have been learning a lot of great stuff, technical stuff since morning, since afternoon, sorry. For me, it's morning. So it's always to, okay, society with our interest with professionalism. Okay, thanks, Bindu. Don't send me personal messages. Please use everyone. Diverse society with multiple professions of the same domain. Okay, don't copy from the slide as well. Anirudh, a community where professional people come together to share common idea. Okay. PS is about everything done on time and perfectly. Wow. Wow, that's separate point of view. Nice. The society deals with your profession and helps you expand your network, preferring good for others. Okay, perfect. That's kind of a social work you're talking about. Any organization which engages people in same occupation. Okay, perfect. So you all are right. There's no wrong definition about it, where you can interact with the experts and people who share interest. Perfect. So kind of Wikipedia definition we go through, right? A professional association seeks to further a particular profession, the interest of individuals engaged in that profession, and the public interest. Simple. Okay. A community to interact with people. Okay, perfect. That's pretty much same. So we got to know about what is professional society, right? Now, why it is required for you? Can anyone please answer me in the chat window? Why a professional society is so much important for you? Come on. See, I told you, keep your fingers on the chat window. I won't be stopping asking questions to you. So feel free to interact with me again and again and again. Okay. Knowing the upbringing of your profession, social interaction to learn and grow my network. Okay. Perfect. What about others? From Munib, to get connected with experienced people, gain from them, and share knowledge with them to be in line with professional and growing world. Social talks make yourself more sharp on your topic. Okay, so we can learn from challenges which seniors have faced. Okay, which seniors have faced. Okay, to get innovative ideas, because it leads to our fields after graduation. What? After graduation, what? Asking why it is important. Tell us the reasons, benefits. The mission of the profession society is primarily educational and information. Perfect. So just to brief it out, right? I wrote an article on LinkedIn. If you Google PVN model of IEEE, you will find my LinkedIn article on the top on Google. And what PVN model is all about, this is actually the answer to it. Why profession society is required for you in your profession, okay? In your education, in your profession, in your job, anything, okay? So let's learn one by one, single letter, what PVN model meant by. Okay, this is not a kind of a rocket science or something. I just love to use abbreviation as a researcher. So that's why I just put abbreviation in front of people so that they can learn and remember what I'm going to talk. Okay. So P for participation. So the first letter of PVN model is participation. Now, I would love to know from every one of you who are fan of cartoons. On the left top side, we have a cartoon. Can you please tell me the name of it with the full tagline of it? What's the cartoon on the top left of my screen? Okay, Dora the Explorer. Yes, Dora the Explorer. And participation is actually meant by the same thing. Be like Dora. Explore new things. Okay. Have open mindset to communicate with other people. Become lifelong learner. This is one of the mantra which I always take with me every day. Even I come to my 80 years or 70 years age, I will be learning from others. So become lifelong learner. Obviously, it will take time to learn from smaller kids or something, but learn from everyone, even from the insects, even from the people around, even from the nature around you. Nothing matters. Okay. It doesn't matter from wherever you are learning something. Be a lifelong learner and an explorer like Dora. Ask all the question, explore new mindset along the people, what they are working on, right? What they are exploring. Like today we got to know about different technical interests, right? Hira was working on entrepreneurship in power and energy. We got to know about that domain. Before slides, we got to know about some technical power energy domains, right? We got to know about savings, energy management, and all those stuff, which is actually kind of out of syllabus for me. But I believe every one of you actually got a lot of insights today, right? In this summit, and you are obviously getting right away as well. So participate in any session you get the opportunity of. So the second point of participation is ask questions. I've been looking onto the chat window. No one asked question other than 1 or 2 people. And we have around 100 plus people on the call. This is kind of very shameful, right? You're getting a chance and golden opportunity to talk with an industrialist coming from somewhere and taking out time in the office, like out of the office schedule. And you're getting that golden chance to meet an industrialist, meet an entrepreneur, meet an academician who are so much experienced. Why not you can take advantage of it? I will tell you a story. It was my 12th class and my chemistry teacher was teaching us some equations. And I was having some equation. Why should I put SCl in this equation and so that something will get formed in the outcome, right? I was confused how this equation came into play. And my teacher recognized my expression and she asked me, Ramnik, if you don't ask question right away, you will be an idiot for whole life because you don't get answer to that question right away, right? And if you ask that question right away, you will be an idiot for that particular moment because people will laugh on you, even if that's a silly question. But you had the courage to ask a question, right? So have that capability to ask question whenever you're participating anywhere. Okay. The third one, grab new opportunities. Now, I've seen a lot of people sitting in their WhatsApp, sitting in their own comfort zone, waiting for some knock on their door and asking, okay, if some opportunity will come, okay, I will make the poster for this IEEE PES summit if sir asks me. I will make some content of the speaker if sir asks me. Why some person need to come up to you and knock your door? Just approach to them, right? Grab your own opportunity. Learn to create your own opportunity, which we will learn in the upcoming slides as well. And this is one of the peak from 2021. There's one program in IEEE for volunteers, IEEE Volunteer Leadership Training Program, VOLT. So I was a graduate of 2020. And maybe I can show you my, this is one of the PALIC which I received, glass PALIC from IEEE VOLT 2020. And 2021, I was the mentor. In this year as well, I am one of the mentor for couple of the teams. So that's a virtual pick from different countries and different new members I've got connected with: Finland, Malaysia, Singapore, Bangalore, London, and a lot of IEEE members I got connected. And those are really experienced industrialists. Okay. Moving on to the V of PVN model. How many of you agree on this? Can I have yes, no in the chat window? How many of you agree with this quotation? Volunteers aren't paid because they are not worthless, okay, but because they are priceless. How many of you agree on this? Yes or no in the chat window? Come on. Yes. I would love to see the comment box flowing. We should. Okay, but still no. Okay, fine, Gautam. No worries. I believe in the upcoming weeks or upcoming months, you will get such opportunity where you will understand why volunteers are not paid. 100% agree. Okay, perfect. So let's understand V of PVN model. I won't be asking that cartoon. It's not a cartoon. It's just an emoji. So V means it actually gives you an opportunity to create your own opportunity. And if I ask you, if I tell you, I'm an author in IEEE USA books as well. How that journey got started when the lockdown happened in India, March 2020. And I was kind of occupied and monotonous with my office profile. And I was like, okay, I need to do something extra. So I was reading someone's book, Paul Kostek. He's also a member of IEEE PS and IEEE Hack, if I'm not wrong, in US. And I was reading his book on IEEE USA. And I just dropped a mail to him. Hey, Paul, nice to get a lot of anecdotes from your book. I would love to know what is the procedure to write our own book. And what he did in the next mail reply, he added the editor-in-chief of IEEE books, IEEE USA books. So what I did here, Paul didn't ask me to write him, right? I was reading his book and I just thought, why not I should know the process. Even if I don't have any idea to write a book, but you should know the process, right? How to write a book in IEEE USA. I'm taking an example. This can be related to anything else, okay? In your profession, in your job, in your workplace. So try to understand, try to learn how to create your own opportunity, okay? The second, become versatile to explore new things. And it's very much important. When I was a chair of my student branch in 2019, I'm a graduate of 2019, bachelor's in computer science, and I'm currently doing my MBA. And when I became the chairperson, I was waiting for a poster to be made for an event. And I just called the designing volunteer and I was like, hey, where are you? I'm waiting for the poster. It's already deadline and we have to release the poster by tomorrow morning. And she was like, brother, I'm really sorry. I'm occupied with my assignments and all the stuff. And what I did, I just asked her to join me on a Google Meet for 1 hour session and teach me how to design. So I'm not a designer by profession, not even by hobby. But when I sat with her and she taught me, okay, this is Canva, this is Photoshop, and these are the tools, these are the things how you can do the drag and drop and all the stuff. So this is how it actually happens. Become versatile to explore new things. Okay, so that's very much important. The third point, small plus small plus small is to infinity is equal to large impact. I was talking with the organizers when they shared me my poster of this summit and the content and the registration Google form. I even checked out each and everything, what kind of field we are mentioning, how we are mentioning, why we are asking mobile number of the participant, because maybe after the event, some of the participant will come to me, hey buddy, why you ask me mobile number? I am not comfortable in sharing my personal number. Such kind of things happens when we are doing an event, right? So very small things, whatever you are doing in an event, even your work profile, or even if you're a profession or something, very small things matters a lot. And those things are actually missed out by many leaders. And this is the golden opportunity for you to grab those things. Okay. The last thing, being a volunteer, have a passion to share something back. Okay. Since childhood, we are getting a lot of things from the society, right? We are getting nature resources. We are getting resources of public transport and all the stuff in our society, right? In our community. What we are giving back to the society, that is one of the important things that you should consider. Being a bachelor student, being a postgrad, or being an undergrad student, doesn't matter. Wherever, whichever position you are right now, it doesn't matter. Volunteering gives you a 100% fold, I would say 100x fold efforts and ROI. Return of investment is very less and you get a lot of return on that. Okay. So the main thing is you should understand why this is very much important for you. What is the specific cause you want to contribute in? Because when you come into final year, you will be occupied with your major projects, internship, jobs, placements, and all the stuff, right? Being an undergrad, postgrad, or somehow, you will be occupied with those things. But you have to understand how to manage those things. There's a very popular question which my of the friends, like many of the organizing team here on the call as well, they asked me when they were like inviting me out, how did I get time to manage all this stuff? Let me tell you, I am right now, today is my office, and right now I am just took half an hour, 1 hour, something from my office schedule, and I am here with you guys. So the main thing is you don't need to manage your time. You have to manage your energy. Okay. That's one of the primary thing that you should focus. So this is one of the peak from my final year. There's no convocation ceremony which happened in my college when I graduated. So I thought as a chair, why not I can conduct my own award ceremony. So I conducted my own award ceremony. I got a chance to give a lecture in front of all of my college mates, and my dream come true because I gave a talk, I gave a convocation speech. That was my bucket list. And I gave the awards to my all volunteers. These are all IEEE volunteers in my student branch at that time, 2019. Okay, let's play a game now. Now it's a game time. Take a pen and paper and get ready for instruction. Let me unshare my screen because I want to see every one of you on camera, please. And show me your pen and paper once grabbed. Show me pen, fine, paper. Okay, perfect. What about others? Come on, everyone, please join us on camera. See, that's a good chance to being highlighted on YouTube stream. to the global audience, right? So let's play this game and try to understand why we are playing this after playing it. Okay. So the disclaimer is you can laugh if you want to. And another disclaimer is please don't use WhatsApp to connect with your friends. Okay, I will tell you why I'm saying this. You will get to know the reason soon. Okay. I can see few people on camera. What about the others? Come on. Let's see everyone on camera, please. See, I'm human. I'm again telling you, I'm not from another galaxy or something. I'm not an alien. I'm a human. So join me on camera. Would love to see your faces as well. And professors, academicians, everyone who is ever on the call, please join us in this game. Take a pen and paper with you and show me on camera once you have grabbed. Done? Everyone? Okay. Not comfortable with camera. Why so? I have my pen and paper though. Oh, that's a diplomatic remark. Okay. Maybe you can say yes or no in the chat window. Have you grabbed your pen and paper? Yes or no in the chat window. Or you can show thumbs up. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay. How many people we have? 114, including me. Come on. You will really enjoy this. Okay. Perfect. Let's move on to the first step. Okay. Again, I am repeating, please don't call, please don't use WhatsApp, or please don't use any kind of communication with your friends during this game. Okay. First step, one by one on the paper, write down 10 names of your friends to whom you frequently talk. Write down the names of 10, write down the 10 friends' name one by one on a paper. So that's why the disclaimer was, please don't WhatsApp or chat with your friend asking, hey, are you writing my name or not? Please don't fight with each other. It's fine. Maybe the other person don't want to be friend with you. So it's okay. So one by one, just write 10 names of your friend to whom you frequently talk. I was giving this talk last year in Gujarat, in Marwar University offline in the auditorium. There were around 800 plus students sitting across 40 plus countries, diverse audience. And one of the girls stood up from the front right, and she asked me, sir, are you asking about best friend or simple friend? I was like, no, I don't know about that difference. So you can write the people who are to whom you talk frequently. That's all. Anywhere from the galaxy. It can be anywhere from the galaxy. If you have connections with the aliens on Mars, you can write their names. Come on. Once done, just drop yes in the chat window. Don't type hi. Hi is already done in the starting of the session. Just mention yes or no. Just type yes. Okay, done. Okay, yeah, you can type done. That would distinguish before responses. You can just type done. Once done, write down the names of 10 friends one by one on the paper. And once done, please type done in the chat window. I will wait for next 1 minute, and then we will start with the second step. But I don't have many friends. It's fine, Munib. I am also in that class. Maybe you can write people's name, like to whom you talk frequently. That can be of your future friends, right? I also didn't have much friends in my college days or school days. My school friends used to complain my teacher and my parents, why this introvert guy don't talk with each other, like don't talk with us. He don't come to recess for playing with us and all this stuff. It's fine. You will get a lot of friends along the way. And professional society is one of the way to get new friends. I have got a lot of, okay. Perfect. Are we done? Okay. Moving on to the second step. Strike through the names of your friends who have the same gender as yours. If you are female, remove female friends from the list. If you are male, remove male friends from the list. Strike through the names who has the same gender as yours. Type done once done in the chat window. Second step. Disclaimer, I am repeating again because that's going to be useful for next step. If you want to laugh, you can laugh. Okay. Okay, I had written all male friends. So you can remove all if you are male. Okay, please repeat again, sir. Okay, the question is, the second step is strike through the names, remove the names on the paper who has the same gender as yours. If you are male, remove male friends. If you are female, remove female friends. If you are other gender, remove those kind of names from the list. Okay. All done? Yeah. I didn't ask you to write only males friend. I asked you to write friend's name across the Lexi. I didn't ask you gender specific first step. Second step was gender specific. Okay. Moving on to the third step. Repeating the disclaimer again. You can show laughing emoji or you can laugh in the chat window openly. The third step. No, I didn't mention the third step, Ilsa. Just wait for it. So the third step, strike through the names who belong to the same country as yours. Strike through the names who belong to the same country as yours. And please don't mention the score in the chat window. We need to do some math manipulation in the last. Then I will ask a score. Strike through the names who belong to the same country as yours. If you're belonging to India, remove Indian friends. If you're belonging to Malaysia, you remove Malaysian friends, and so on. My page is already empty, Ikram. Oh, sad to know that. No, I did not ask for the score, Ganesh. Just wait for it. Okay. Perfect. The last step. Now, the number of the friends which are left. Okay, I know some people are there, non-zero figures are there on the call. I trust that and I believe that we will get some winners today. So the number of the friends which are left, multiply that number by 20 and type your score in the chat window. Okay. The people who are getting non-zero, you can raise your hand. The people who got non-zero, you have to multiply the number of the, okay, let me repeat the question. The number of the friends which are left in the paper, like say, let's say 5 friends are left, multiply that number by 20 and type the score in the chat window. The people who are getting non-zero, please raise your hand. I can see Ali Mohammed to raise one. Okay. The people who have got non-zero, please raise your hands. Okay. Nice. Raise your hands if you got non-zero score. Okay. Okay, 4 people. Come on, I can see a lot of non-zero people on the chat window. Raise your hands. Raise your hands in the Zoom. Okay, if you are on camera, Dr. Shekhar, maybe you can use raise hand feature on the phone. Do we have that feature on the phone? I guess we do have that in the chat window. Or somewhere we can see. Okay, there we go. Okay, fine. Now, all the people who have scored 0, I'm really sad to see that because we have got around more than 70% or 80% audience having 0 score. I will tell you the score which you calculated. It is actually called as DQ. This is your DQ. Have you heard about IQ? Yes or no in the chat window? You all have heard about IQ, right? Intelligence constant. Yeah. Have you heard about EQ? Have you heard about EQ? What is the full form of EQ? Can anyone please tell me in the chat window? What is the full form of EQ? EQ, emotional constant. And when the COVID happened on the planet and across countries, companies were looking people who has the high DQ, diversity constant. The score which you just calculated it is actually your DQ. Now the people who have raised their hands, right? Maybe you can drop out the country name of your friend, from where she belongs to or he belongs to. That will help us out to know out of this 117 people, how much people are diverse enough and to which countries they belong to. Just type the country name in the chat window, the people who got non-zero score. United States and South Africa, okay. India, Pakistan, okay, Pakistan. Hey, if you belong to Pakistan, you are not eligible for that kind of answer because I told you to remove your own country friends, okay. India, okay. China, Pakistan, Malaysia, okay, that's nice. Okay, let me share my screen back again. Obviously, I won't be asking everyone, the winners who got non-zero, to show the like image like this. Don't do such thing. Maybe we can take a group pic afterwards with this stunt. Okay, so that's what I was talking about. Diversity is your reality. You can lower down your hands. The people who have raised your hand, you can lower down your hands. So the main motive of this game was to calculate your DQ and just to give you the mirror what kind of skills, what kind of parameters industries are looking for after COVID-19. Okay. DQ is very much important for your own personality. And the third, we talked about PVN model, participation, volunteering, and the third one is N for networking. So let's talk about networking a little bit. Let me see if I have. Okay, please share the. Okay, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. Lakshya, we will do that. Don't worry about it. Okay, so the first point of networking is create your own opportunity for from your network. Now, I do have professors connected in Malaysia, Singapore, USA, a lot of big universities, top universities where I can do my own PhD. Now, who's the first person to whom I am going to connect with for pursuing or taking an PhD admission? It's not going to be on web portal and connecting the customer care or helpline desk number, right? That will be that person to whom I'm connected with. So you are creating your own opportunity from your network. So you have to learn those things. Okay. And this is very much important when you are in an industry. Let's take an example. If there's a product selling, okay, you are a product manager and you want to sell your product of your organization in USA, or let's say in Germany. Now, all the clients, all the customers in Germany knows German and they don't know fluent English or your own local language. So they will be, your higher management will connect to the people who know German, right? Who knows anyone in that country. And that's how you have to show yourself as a diverse person. And that's how the interviews are happening these days in industry. Diversity is really a prime factor after COVID, and during COVID it was also. And I haven't got so much exposure to different countries outside India. When lockdown happened, it was a blessing to me for my own personality and for all my connections and all my personal brand. Okay. The second point, connect and explore different mindset. Now, as I told you, I am connected with Malaysia, Pakistan, US people, all of them, like different countries are here today on the call, right? Now, you know me and I know you because you chatted with me. You may have sent, like you will send a LinkedIn request to me and all the stuff will happen. But then afterwards, what's the next step? I will connect with you. I will create opportunity. We will collaborate. We will do some activities together. We will learn how user culture is. I will explain my culture. I will learn your food and all the stuff. So connect and explore different mindsets. It's very much important, very important skill when you are representing yourself in front of others. Okay. The third one, as I mentioned, DQ matters a lot in industries since foundation. So these are the some of the picks from my own event, which I executed a few months back, and I started last year. On the left-hand side, you can see IEEE Quarter Tech Talk table. If you actually frequently read Reason 10 newsletter, you must have seen this event report every quarter. On the right-hand side, you can see one of the pre-university event, which I did for school students from 8th to 12th across globe virtually. And in June 2022, we got the chance to execute it locally in one of the campuses in Delhi NCR. That is IEEE Women Engineering Project-Based Learning School Camp. So these are some of the models which I actually created opportunity for myself. And I thought of with a proper social cause, okay, I want to bridge the gap between the students who are getting into industry, the gap between that, and I want to bridge the gap between who are stepping from school days, from pre-university to university. These are the two bridging points which I am concentrating, being an IEEE volunteer since last seven years. And this is also your motive should also be. If you are in a professional society, just consider some single point or 2 points on what you have to work on. Because then you will get a meaning of your own life. Many people I see on the status, I am so sad, I'm depressed and all the stuff. Arey Baba, it's all temporary. Okay. You have to step up. You have to create your own opportunity. You have to learn from your network. Then only the things will happen to you. Okay. Maintaining the timeline of the session. We'll finish in next 5 to 10 minutes. I know Rashid sir is looking into me and he's saying like quickly finish. We are already delayed with the session, but I will take quick 10 minutes more. So what's next? What shall we do? Now we learned about what, why. Now we will talk how. Okay. What shall I do for becoming unique from the crowd? Now this fact you also know, I also know. If you're a recent computer science graduate from bachelor's, you know how many lakhs and crores people are coming into the market for getting placed. And people are hiring so much rigorously. Now, how you can become unique from the crowd. And that's where professional society comes in the role. So what are the different top skills expected from industries these days? Okay. Many people will say technical skills. Many people, like maximum of the percentage on the call, if I ask, they will say technical skills. That's why I put technical skills in the last, because it doesn't matter in the interview. Most important skills are the first, critical thinking. You should be a critical thinker. If there's a problem statement on your table, you should think how to do it, how to solve, how to find an answer. The Pursuit of Happiness movie, Will Smith, right? There in the interview, he mentioned, I don't know where that answer is, but I know how to find that answer, and I will definitely provide you the answer to it. So that's kind of thing that you should know about it. Okay. The second, ideation. You should be very much idiotic. You should know how to find solutions of the problems around you. And the third, emotional constant, which we talked about, EQ. Communication skills. This is very kind of a backlog, which I have seen in a lot of industries and a lot of my colleagues. They are technical people. They are very core technical people, but they don't have a good communication skills. So there's no benefit of being a technical person in front of customers, right? If you don't know English, if you don't know the language, what the customer is saying or the language they are using, there's no point of you sitting in front of customer. It's a whole lost waste of time for the customer as well as your organization. So you should have basic communication skills. I am speaking so much fluently. It was not the case when I was in my 12th class. There was a session going on and speaker, I was sitting in the last behind backbencher, and one speaker came to me and with the mic, and he was asking, and my heartbeat was increasing beat by beat. And I was like, oh no, this speaker gonna ask me the question or ask me the answer to it. I am kind of getting a heart attack right away. So that was kind of my nature was when I was in my pre-university. When I joined IEEE in my second year, things got changed. And I was like, wow, IEEE is a great platform where I can speak, where I get the platform to speak, where I get the connection to participate, learn from others, to learn how they are speaking, how they are publicly speaking, how they are presenting themselves on stage. That is what we have to learn during our graduate period, during our undergraduation period. Because 4 years, I know many people will say, okay, we are paying 1 lakh rupees, 88,000 or something. In INR, I'm talking about. You can convert according to your currency or whatever fees you are giving to your college or undergrad school. If you calculate for one single class, this is actually a lecture given by a director in my induction class when I was 3rd August 2015, when it was my first semester when I newly joined my undergrad school. He was saying you are giving 88,000 rupees. If you divide it by for one class, you will get 120 rupees or 150 rupees. And this is not my money, right? This is my parents' money. They are giving this money to undergrad school. And I am actually in depth of them that I am coming to the college and taking education on their own money. Now it depends upon you how you are consuming it, right? 120 rupees, 150 rupees that professor is taking for that one single class. How are you going to consume a lot about it? Ask questions, okay? Next, problem solving. This is very critical skill that you should have, everyone should know whenever you're stepping in workplace, professorship, researchship, anywhere you are getting outside after your education. Problem solving is one of the thing, and out of box thinking as well. If you know, many people will say, okay, if I ask you right away to clap on count of 3, I will say 1, 2, I won't speak 3, but you will clap afterward 1 second. Why so? Because other people are clapping also. You won't wait for 3, right? So that's kind of a psychological effect. We follow the sheep. You don't need to do that. Become unique from the crowd. Think out of box. In my organization, it's being like 1.5 years now. And my manager is actually like, she has contributed around 5 years in the same organization, in same team. When I was onboarded last year, and she was like, Ramnik, I don't know how you get to know about all these things. I've been in the organization for the last 5 years, and you are just like few months in the organization. You got to learn new things, which I was not aware about for the last 5 years. So you have to think outside the box. Okay. Next, team working. Someone mentioned in the chat window management skills. So management skill, team working, that actually comes a lot of stuff. You have to understand how to work with people, how to manage people. Because let's say Bindu and I am working on an IoT project today, okay? And Bindu says, no, I'm gonna go with Python. And I will say, no, I am a Java developer, I will go with Java. So contradictions are happening when you're working on a project in a team, right? So you should learn how to interact with team. You should know how to manage people. And the last, not so important, technical skills. I will show you my resume quickly soon, and you will get to know why technical skill is very least important when you are being interviewed. Many of the people will argue in the chat window, hey bro, you are saying this, but this is not true. If I am applying for a software engineer position, they will ask me DS and all the stuff. I acknowledge that. But they will ask that if you don't have extracurricular activity on top of it. Okay. And the very most important thing, which actually I see a lot of young minds are missing in their profiles, not even young minds, even the professors are missing these things. I have contacted, like a lot of professors have contacted me, and I've seen the LinkedIn profile. They were like, Ramnik, how come you are managing so much nicely everything? I'm like, this is a very small trick. If you are posting like, today I'm going to do this summit, right? We will have a group pic and you can tag me, I can tag you on social media. Now, people will ask me how you're posting it on same thing every time on social media. See, that's the concept of personal branding. When I was going to interview for my current organization last year, one of the recruiters saw my LinkedIn profile and Facebook profile. For the Facebook, I didn't got the message, but for the LinkedIn, I got the notification that someone recruiter from my organization saw my profile. See, personal branding stands a lot in your interview. That reflects your true self. Companies don't want a robot to come in their organization. They want their own true self. Okay, so that's why personal branding is so much important. We will give an overview of my LinkedIn profile as well, so that you can better know how to maintain your social media as well. You can take a screenshot of it if you want to. This is one of the regional map of IEEE. IEEE is the world's largest organization. The people who are non-IEEE member on the call. I believe many of you have heard about IEEE protocols from Wi-Fi and Internet, IEEE 802.xx series. So that's one of the standard working group. If you are professional, if you are an industrialist, you can also contribute in those standards. Let's take an example, some 5G protocol or 6G protocol is coming in the market and you have volunteered or you have contributed. There's no money involved in getting into this, okay? So if you get into working group and you contributed technically to that standard, just imagine that standard is coming out officially out of IEEE, and on the second page of cover, your name is there. That the 6G protocol is being contributed by these members, and your name is one of them. That makes us proud, right? Being a technical person. So this is what kind of a benefits of IEEE is. And these are some of the tools which you can take a screenshot of it afterwards, after the session, after the summit. You can Google it and you can simply find it. Few of the highlights which I can give you. One is IEEE site, IEEE Humanitarian Activity Committee, IEEE Reach, and IEEE Smart Village. These are the 4 to 3 committees, entities in IEEE, which actually contributes towards social cause. Let's take an example. If you have a village around you and you want to deploy solar panels and you don't have any budget, IEEE going to help you out. Just what they need dedication, they need commitment of the completion of those projects, and you are reporting every month what are you doing with their money. See, this is not IEEE money, this is ours money only, right? We are taking the membership. This is actually revolving around some different entities, external committees, external parties are giving donation to IEEE. It's a non-profit organization. So you have to understand how you are consuming that money wisely. And as IEEE says, IEEE is actually used for the benefit of humanity using technology. So feel free to join IEEE. These are the come of the like 2021, 2022. It's also extended to 2023 December, if I'm not wrong. Future 50 is the code which you can use for 50% discount for student members. I'm unaware if there's a discount on professional membership. If you are a industrialist or professor or academician. If you are a postgraduate, undergrad or research scholar, you can apply for student membership. There's no as such process, long process. You just need to file out your education, qualification, and all the stuff. Just go on Google IEEE.org/join, and you will be able to explore the things. Okay, I will come back to this slide. Let's move on to my LinkedIn profile. So we were talking about personal branding, right? And I attended one of the IEEE USA webinar where they were talking about LinkedIn. There was one professor from Harvard University, and he was talking about this thing. So after that webinar, I actually changed my LinkedIn profile completely. So LinkedIn is equal to, can anyone tell me what is the definition of LinkedIn? How you can be more profound in LinkedIn? Can anyone please tell me? LinkedIn is equal to what? Come on, I'm looking for answers. Virtual resume. Okay, fine. That is acceptable, but not the same. Online CV, professional networking platform. Okay, Rupni. What next? Linking with others. Okay. What next? So when I was attending that webinar, virtually you, okay. When I was attending that webinar of IEEE USA of Harvard University professor, he just defined LinkedIn with one single sentence, even one word. LinkedIn is equal to content. Now, if you want to get top list or featured in LinkedIn, right? You want to get featured and you have to maintain your brand properly. LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, or whatever social media platform you use and you waste your time. After this session, I believe you're going to use it wisely and you're going to develop it properly so that you maintain a professional bandwidth onto those things. So if you see my LinkedIn profile, right away, I'm mentioning about myself, about my brief summary. Every single position, what I am holding, I am explaining every single thing. What is it? Okay. How I got the opportunity. Every single explanation is there. So whatever you do, see, if you see the volunteering, I am giving the awareness as well. What is IEEE World Program? What is AWS Cloud Room? What is IEEE Sections Congress? I'm mentioning every single thing in every single position. See, obviously it will take time, but once completed, you won't regret it. Whenever I get update in my profile or workplace or anywhere in the volunteering, there are two things which I update. One is my LinkedIn and the other one is my resume. So this is my resume. Unfortunately, IEEE Resume Lab, that was one of the platform which actually got shut down in 2019 when I graduated. I don't know, maybe they were aware, okay, Ramnik is graduating, so we will close the platform. But that's not the case. Maybe there's some agreement which actually shut down. So this is one of the IEEE resume format which I used. And you can see the summary. Then we have projects and papers, patents, articles. I have explained 2 to 4 lines. And then my papers, all the links, citations are there. Because when you apply after the COVID or during COVID, when you applied, you are giving a virtual resume. They are not asking you to submit certificates and all the stuff. This is not an offline interview. This is a virtual interview. So you have to have open drive links, okay? And all the citations on the papers or the whatever you're mentioning. If I say, if I have an article, so I'm mentioning with the links as well, so that anyone who is reviewing my resume, they will able to see. These are all certification, professional membership and appointments. And in the last, which is not required, technical skills. Now, when I was interviewed for my last organization, yeah, still we can add our resume to IEEE Collaborative profile. Yeah, that's true. But industrialists need to sign up using their Gmail ID as a non-IEEE member to see that, right? That's one of the limitation. So if you like, let me share you quick overview of my interview. Last organization, Wipro, where I was working in Bangalore. In the interview, he actually highlighted IEEE. He actually highlighted IEEE brand ambassador, IEEE impact. He highlighted, it was an offline interview and he was highlighting every single thing. He was asking, what is this IEEE? What are you doing in this? Now, it was a technical interview. The tendency is to ask, like, to get some data structure or algorithm questions, but he was not asking that. He was asking me about IEEE. And only one technical question which he asked in the end, and my interview was also over, and I was selected in the organization. Okay. Can we have a sample of CV for guidance? Yeah, there are a lot of samples available online. You can use canva.com as well for that purpose. The last slide, this is my one of the personal website which I created last year when I was standing for election in Computer Society for BOG, and there I understood why personal branding is so much important for us. This is one of the website which I created where I mentioned my professional membership, what I love to do, and these are some of the tabs which I just shown you in the resume, and that's pretty much. With that, I would like to give you a gift because you patiently listened me and hold it till the last. This is a free book of my IEEE USA. You just scan it and you can get the book for free. However, for IEEE members, it's free. You can just Google IEEE idea to product a research pathway for students, Ramnik, and you will get that book for free. For non-IEEE members, it's $2.99. But as you are joining in the summit, I'm giving this book for free. So you can scan this barcode and you can connect me on my LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and that's my personal website. Thank you so much for so much patience, giving so much patience on the chat window and interacting with me actively during the session. It was really an amazing experience for me. And thank you so much once again, Dr. Harun, Rashid, and IEEE PES YP to invite me and have me on this call. Over to you, Ikra.
Thank you so much, Ramnik, and it was really engaging and really entertaining session. I think so. The mood of the audience would have changed. So let's go towards the photograph with Ramnik. Everyone, please open your cameras so we can have a picture. And Sakib will take the picture.
And do we have a symbol of PES? I don't know about it. Maybe like we can make some symbol or thumbs up or V or something, because people are sitting idle and we don't see them smiling as well.
We can ask them to just smile, I think so, without any symbol. Just let's smile. Yeah. Have a good smile for Ramanik's session. I think so. They already have a good smile. They are all smiling. And we can just encourage. Yes, I see a smile. Yes. Smile looks good on you and everybody. So that's the wonderful, you know, you can see on the everywhere it's written like you smile, you can make your good day. So it's already good there.
And give a count of 3, 2, 1 as well. Otherwise, people will have fake smiles.
No, they will. My host will come in.
Okay, do we have?
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
So Alam will. Zurul, can you take the pictures? For
okay, thank you. All right, so let's take on memorable today. Switch on your camera.
Smile, everyone.
It's freestyle, so whatever you want, you can show.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Please keep smiling. It's a freestyle, so feel free to post anything you want. It's done. All right, I've already captured. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much, Ramanik, and thank you so much for a more insightful session. Let's move toward the closing remarks from our chair of IEEE PES Young Professional, from Dr. Harun Rashid.
Thank you very much, Ikra. So we are almost coming towards the end of this session. It was really a great session. I would just like to take a few moments to share my slides to have some acknowledgement for the team and for the speakers, of course. So is my slide visible? Ikra, can you confirm?
Not yet, not yet. Yeah, now it is. Now it is.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, may I see what is happening? Why recording stop?
Zurul, can you check?
Okay, all right, it's fixed. Okay.
Yes, I think it's.
Okay. All right. So you guys are almost sitting there for about 3 hours plus, as we promised that for 3 hours and 15 minutes, but we have exceeded some of the time. So I apologize first of all for the inconvenience in the beginning and then the delay in the whole schedule. But really, we have enjoyed throughout this session, and this whole session was not successful without your presence. So once again, I would like to give a recap of the whole thing, what we have done in the whole day, and before that, how we came up with the whole summit thing. So as I earlier mentioned in my opening remarks that this is the first in Asia Pacific IEEE PES Young Professional Regional Summit, which we received over 500 registrations for more than 15 countries. So that was something awesome that I was very happy. And until now, I can see that a crowd in 100 over is still sitting there who are really here to learn from our speakers, and they have learned all throughout all this time. So just a quick overview on participants from where we had in today's session. The most participants we receive are coming from Pakistan, then we have from India, we have from Bangladesh, Malaysia, Nigeria, Sri Lanka, and many other countries, like as I mentioned, 13 over countries. So thank you very much to all the participants for coming to this very first IEEE PES Young Professional Region Summit, which was inaugurated by none other than Simi Akar, our chair of IEEE PES YP, and then accompanied by the vice chair, Jen Lee. So thank you very much to these honorable guests for this session, to give their time all the way coming from different time zones. Simi was based in, I think she was in traveling, I'm not sure which exactly country she was, but she spared her time. And then Jen Lee joined us from UK very early morning over there. Then we had the technical talk by Dr. Farihan, and it was really awesome. I'm sure all of you have learned a lot of things. Then we learned about IEEE PES presentation. Thank you very much, Albin, to join us all the way from Hungary. And IR Dr. Muhammad Effendi Yaqub, your session was amazing. We received so many questions in your session. Even some of the questions are unanswered yet. So later on, we are going to send to you so that you can reply directly back to the participants. And Adi Doyen, she joined us 3 a.m. in the morning, all the way from Africa. So thank you very much for your presence as well. Sorry, we have spoiled your whole night, but I really appreciate on behalf of my whole team that you have given us the honor to be here. And Hira, all the way she was waiting and her session was delayed. Thank you very much, Hira, for giving us an insight about entrepreneurship opportunities in power and energy. It was really an amazing session. And you have even picked up what is currently happening, like the blackout happened recently in Pakistan. What are the things not covered there? So that was really interesting. And this is really amazing that we learned all these things. And then last but not the least, our Ramnik Kalra for spending his time. And sorry, Ramnik, you asked us for more time to give you, but unfortunately we have limitations of the summit, so we couldn't give you so long time. But of course, we will have a separate session with you. We can organize maybe an individual session with you, especially with Hira as well, because I see it was both of you have the topics which cannot covered up in the short time. So please accept our apologies for any inconvenience which happened. And on the other hand side, thank you once again for joining us all this way. And then most importantly, this event was not able to be succeeded without my team. So I would like to say thanks to all individual of my team members, starting from Chaudhry Atar, then from Pakistan, and Bindu Madhavi from India. Then I had Zohrul Islam from Malaysia. Then I had Tabil Ahmad from Bangladesh, and then our technical team members from Bangladesh, Mohammad Moinul Islam and Noor Alam Saqib, and also the backend team that you didn't see, Sara Iqbal was there, and also the designer Srikesh and his team from India and from around the globe who have designed all these posters and all that for us. They are from the main team of IEEE PES Young Professionals. So thank you to all of you. Without your support, we couldn't do all this event, and we, like what I mentioned here, together everyone achieved more. So without your support, it was not possible. And then the last but not the least, the master of the ceremony, and then the key person for all this live program, Miss Ikra Sadia, for giving her special time while she was not even feeling well. She told me she's not feeling well, but she spared her time and she has full commitment. So thank you very much, Ikra, for sparing your time. And as Ramnik has mentioned that for those who are willing to volunteer, don't wait for the opportunity to come to you. You know, you have to approach, you have to ask, you have to contact us and other people and ask them that, yes, I am looking for something. Do you have any kind of volunteering opportunity? Because why I always say, and I always tell to my team that when you are doing volunteering, you make mistakes, nobody going to summon you, nobody going to fine you, nobody going to penalize you. But imagine if you are working in, like Ramnik, in Amazon, or you are working for a multinational company. Imagine if you do a mistake, what your boss going to do? They are going to sack you right away from your job, or you will be penalized. But when you are doing volunteering things, nobody is going to do anything to you. But what we do that when you are coming to this volunteering, come to learn, not to just come for the sake of a certificate. So always there are opportunities. Do reach out to us. Let's get connected. You can scan this QR code of my social networks and just write to me or text me through my social media or whatsoever medium you are convenient. Tell us that, okay, I am good in so and so and so. Do you have any opportunity? And we have a lot of opportunities, believe me. Like what Alvin has also said, Adidoin has also said, Ramnik was talking all about. So there are a lot of opportunities. Don't miss that chance. Grab this opportunity. Contact us. Tell us. Maybe you don't know. You have some hidden skills, like what Ramnik has said, all of his experience. So see from there. Find out. Sit down. Spend 15 minutes and think what special you have in you other than what you are doing in your daily life. So then think, contact me if you are not sure. I will give you counseling. I can guide you also. And me and my team are always there to help anyone who is always asking us. So just stay in touch, get contacted, and let's get involved with this thank you. And thank you once again to all of you who have joined us from Zoom, those who joined from Facebook, those who joined from YouTube, because this session was live broadcasted at YouTube and Facebook as well. And those who just came for just one session or two sessions. So thanks to every one of you. And with that, I hand over the session back to Ikra, and I wish you all the best and see you in the next event. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Thank you so much. I think so. We are very privileged that we are part of your team, and it was a wonderful summit, including myself. Everyone, I'm sure, would have enjoyed and interacted and learned a lot of things today. So let's take our last photo of the session before we leave. And so Zahrul, can you take the picture? Please open the cameras. You guys all look lovely. So let's just see each other's faces. So feel more face to face.
This is the last chance for all of you to be in the publications and all the publicity of this summit. So if you want your photos to be in the summit, in the publicity, please turn on your cameras. Whatsoever way you are, you didn't put the makeup, you're not wearing nice dresses, doesn't matter. You are even sitting in your kitchen, doesn't matter. Join us now. Just open up your cameras. Yes, Ikra.
Yes. Let's cheer up.
Okay. So yeah. So I'm ready here to take the most memorable photos of today. So please show the world your beautiful smile. Don't be shy. Okay, all right. So I'll be counting from 3 to 1. 3, 2, 1. We have 2 pages, so please keep quiet. Keep smiling. The last page. 1, 2, 3. All right. I've captured all the beautiful smiles. So over to you, Ikra.
Thank you so much, Zahrul. Thank you so much, Dr. Harun, Ramlik, and all my lovely speakers for just inspiring and entertaining and all the communicative information that they provided us, and lovely participants actually, because without you wouldn't be able to have this summit executed. So happy to have you on board, and we will see you in next summit again. And thank you so much. This is all from my side and Ikra, and from my team. We will just play some videos for you and awareness sessions. You can always communicate to us on the forms and the questions that you have, so we can connect you with the speakers that were here. And also related to the IEEE Young Professional Platforms, Asia Pacific, you can also approach us. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Lovely to have you. Thank you.